Advanced philosophy memes. We have made good memes. Advanced philosophy memes. Base fucking memes. Advanced philosophy memes. We have made good memes. Advanced philosophy memes. Base fucking memes. Shoutouts to Aquarius, Deacon, my boy Scott, Pedro, and everyone else that engages on my posts. And Sarah, keep it up, man. You'll get there someday. And everyone else from Great Memes.
Valleys are well with the land. That's what they say. Good. They're made in China, almost all of them. When they start to rust and rot in 8 years, you can't really turn them off. You can't burn them. They won't let you bury the propellers, the props, because there's a certain type of fiber that doesn't go well with the land. That's what they say. The environmentalists say you can't bury them because the fiber doesn't go well with the land. In other words, if you bury it, it will harm our soil. The whole thing is a con job. It's very expensive. And in all fairness, Germany tried it, and wind doesn't work. You need subsidy for wind, and energy should not need subsidy. With energy, you make money. You don't lose money. But more important than that is it ruins the landscape. It kills the birds. They're noisy. You have a certain place in the Massachusetts area that over the last 20 years had 1 or 2 whales wash ashore. And over the last short period of time, they had 18. Okay? Because it's driving them loco. It's driving them crazy. Now,
Killing the whales. I don't know. Did you hear that? Like that was the other day. We were all
driving
wondering
them
about
loco.
driving them whales
Complaining about
loco.
machines or something.
Something about the wind turbines. Like when I
Wind
stop the wind
turbines.
turbines, like free energy, all that stuff, and like it's driving the whales loco. And it's just funny because I've been
I didn't know
wondering for
whales
days.
fly.
I mean, you better believe. I seen a rubber band, so if I seen the elephant fly in a cartoon. I'm pretty sure
I
whales
seen a
can
horse
fly.
fly.
I did see a whale fly in Fantasia 2000, so there's something to that. But the main thing was that now there's a bunch of whales washing to shore, right? Like this was the tsunami thing. Where's it at?
I feel like that has to do more with
Black
like
Genghis
secret
Khan.
submarine use and their sonar than it does with windmills.
I mean, yeah, Oprah and sonar for sure. Here's the pictures, right? There's like tsunami, 5 meters.
Does Oprah still
tons of whales.
navigate with sonar, or has she moved past that?
I think she uses sonar. I think she's got like, yeah, that's basically she makes this like flatulent beeping noise that sort of fills the room. Check under your seat, to make sure you're safe, kind of thing. Like make sure watch. I think when you say check under your seat, you're really like telling us like watch yourself, like look if you're safe. But yeah, how often do tsunamis cause hundreds of whales to wash on shore, or maybe not hundreds, but plenty of
Is
whales?
this a
are
good
being washed
omen or a
on shore.
bad for this land?
So, okay, yesterday, Sam Newsman, who's our most trusted puppet in media news, he was talking about the tsunami as it was happening. And it was pretty weird because usually with a tsunami, you don't know you do know they're coming. It's pretty obvious that there's an earthquake coming because we have this volcano earthquake alert app, I think it's called. What's the volcanoes and earthquakes, volcano discovery. This is what I use. And there's actually an app that this group makes, and it's all around the world. It tells you, how do I even make this easier for you to see? You see that right there? Like there's like a list of like spots everywhere on the planet there. And it'll tell you, okay, there was a volcano here in South America. So there's going to be another one in, Northeast Eurasia. And then there's another one in Oceania, which will then mean there's probably one. This is both forecasting and alerts.
Oh,
because it keeps an index of all of the volcanoes that have happened, and it also tells you where the volcanoes will be, and not just volcanoes, but earthquakes, right? Because earthquakes, people seem to think are associated with tectonic plates, but that's actually only a theory still. The truth is we know more about volcano corresponding to earthquakes than tectonic plates. And anytime there's a volcano, there's an earthquake. So that's a guarantee. There's no sort of hypothesis there. That's foolproof. We know that
Isn't
for
there
a
like
fact.
some sort of like geomagnetic storm going on right now with the sun?
And there's a geomagnetic storm, but then the thing to me is that is this
Think about it
all
though,
just a
like the
cover for
Earth
war?
and the sun are both magnets, right? So like
Allegedly,
when the
yeah,
speaker
I'll
coil,
go with it.
like in a speaker coil, when the one magnet changes, the other magnet just moves. And that's how the
I mean,
that's how you're listening to me right now.
for the last couple of years, it's just been getting more Aurora Borealis, whatever. It's been getting more and brighter all the time. I
Yeah, but
always
like the
mix up
sun is a
Aurora
much
Borealis
larger
with Aurora
magnet than Earth, is
Borealis.
what I'm saying. So like if there was a quake in the sun, that could have caused the quake on Earth.
Aurora Borealis and the Ouroboros, I like to me that there's some kind of sync there between the snake eating its own tail. But yeah, maybe there's some sort of a they're getting closer together. Who knows what's really going on? Flat Earth, bro, flat Earth. But I'm just saying it's pretty interesting that there's these weather phenomenon that are not being predicted, and they're happening off the coast of Russia. And to me, that says probably military, discrete underground military bunkers are being destroyed. There's like a war going on with Russia, so why
But
not
Point
blame
eight,
that?
dude, you would have to use nukes to create something like that. That's insane.
Yeah, an 8.9, an 8.9.
8.9.
It's
That's
insane.
a lot bigger.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Here's more Black Genghis Khan from AI, just in case you needed to see that. But let's see, 8.9 Russia. Let's say look that up right there. Look at this. Look at this crazy visualization from a 90s movie. Well, that's the tsunami coming off the coast of Japan. But 8.7 mag earthquake in Russia. Okay, 8.7. I thought 8.9. I'm pretty sure I heard 8.9.
I heard 8.8.
9.1. How about that? 8.8.
9.1's a lot bigger. Jesus Christ.
It never ends, bro.
I feel like that
never
would
ends.
like rip the earth open.
It probably did. That's all I'm saying. And it's just crazy. This idea that there's an earthquake that is that large, then it's causing a tsunami off the coast of Japan, which is screwing up Japan and it's supposed to hit. Wait, go back. Let's see how far does it go. Are we gonna see this? Yeah, it should hit California. There it hits Alaska, and then it's going straight to California. And man, I didn't really think about that, but it's gonna hit Chile straight on because of the way water doesn't really like slow it down too much, right? So how bad India? I wonder
That's
how
gonna get it worse.
Well, it's gonna follow the inverse square law. It's gonna be that much smaller for every time you double the distance.
Well, I want to know how that went. I'm pretty curious. I hope the Columbia is okay. Let's see.
Yo, Andreas, did you hear about that top secret weapon in Antarctica that could generate earthquakes?
The tsunami bomb or
Which one? Which one, Chris?
Oh, the
Yeah,
one that's
right.
like a Swiss Army knife of all sorts of weird metaphysical activities. But thought that was-
Antarctica super weapon? Is that what you want to look up?
I'm
right
look
there?
up Swiss Army knife.
Super weapon in Antarctica. Yeah, it can be used to open bottles. So what's the deal? Installation on the South Pole is not a simple research station, claims a firefighter who worked at the site, but is in fact a test bed for chilling chilling technology in Antarctica because it's cold. It's a fun pun right there. Outlandish claim can trigger earthquakes anywhere on the planet has been created. Go on. Okay. Tell me about this, Chris.
I'm just speculating here, but if I had to get like a bunch of bodies for a harvest, I think a easy way to do it would be to just generate an earthquake. And look at all these people that mysteriously disappeared in all the chaos. Who knows what happened to them?
Yeah, it's crazy. And then this is the tsunami bomb, which was, what was this called? Operation Chastise. And there's another one, right? Operation Chastise. Is that the one I'm thinking of? I guess so. I thought there was another name. Project Seal. That's what it was. Project Seal Tsunami. It was the artificial tidal surge program created by the U.S. government. Project Seal was a highly classified experiment to test the feasibility of destroying coastal defenses, even cities, by producing a huge artificial tidal surge, aka a tsunami. Project Seal was connected with the 2004 Sri Lanka tsunami. Did that have a name? Boxing Day tsunami? They didn't name it like Hurricane Steve or something like that. So the story goes that
Hurricane Jesus.
a vacuum of space is produced in the ocean by removing a canyon, by collapsing a canyon. So let's see if I can show like a tsunami underwater creation. Can you see like the picture of it? Undersea earthquake. Will any of these work to show you what I want to show you? Yeah, there you go. That might actually be fine. Okay, so basically, if you launch a drill, and then if you explode a bomb and it's in the seabed, right? And this collapses a cliff. What happens is the cliff pushes down, right? Imagine kind of like
That's moving up, actually, kind of.
Imagine though, there's like an open space, and then
gotta slide.
something closes that space. The water has to go somewhere else. If the water's there and it's no longer there, it's somewhere else. Okay, so all of a sudden the water shot up from this point, and then that water needs to go down, but there's nowhere down to go, so it moves forward, and that pushes the water forward until it produces a giant wave, which then rocks the shore. Right, so that's basically how to produce a tsunami. And the reason you would do this, either to destroy Sri Lanka or to punish countries that are not doing what the United States wants them to do. I mean, if it's Russia, I mean, you can imagine that these are discrete underground military bunkers, DUMS, dooms, underground bases. And there's just tons of these underground bases everywhere. But what about like submarine bases? How about that? A submarine base.
Like underwater or?
Yeah.
The Unterboats.
Yeah, because they're not even decent pictures of this right here. Underwater fortress. There we go, something like that. No, this isn't just for regular. Like submarines can enter these places, but this is more what I'm talking about.
Okay.
It's like that movie, The Meg. I think The Meg
with Jason Statham. The
Yeah.
stupidest fucking movie in the world.
Oh, what is
But-
that? I didn't see that. And
You never saw The Meg?
Look at the poster. Why would I watch it? Look at the poster.
I was just listening to Chuck Mangione, which is required
Shut up,
listening for
Meg.
all
Rest in
Canadians.
peace, man.
I think this is the official trailer. So look, it shows you this underground base, underwater base, right? And there's a girl walking around in this deep sea underwater base, playing with her little toy. And then all of a sudden, right behind her, there's a shark, a giant shark. It's like a prehistoric shark.
Okay.
And the thing that's most true about this movie is the underground base, like the underwater base exists, and they're just inside of this base underwater.
What does Jason Statham play?
I mean, is he like the dad? Yeah,
He's the specialist.
He's the specialist,
As
right,
always.
yeah.
He's the mechanic.
Yeah.
He's the guy
The
Bruce
beekeeper.
Willis used to play.
He's the shark keeper.
Israeli.
But if you want to check
underwater
out
base.
the little private chat, I just put a link to a wave simulation that was done for the biggest wave ever recorded in human history. If you really want to move that much water, it's bombing something under the water is not really going to do a lot for you, but hitting a cliff face that's hanging over the water,
exactly,
that's going to do a lot. Now, if you see that red wave, that's going to be between supposedly 60 and 100 feet tall as it wells up across that flat surface of the water. Like there were boats in there and they were thrown over the trees.
This is like fun.
So if you really wanted to create havoc and devastation, you would need some sort of large land overhang that you could cause a landslide into the water and like a harbor to well up through. If you're doing something on open water and you're trying to move that much all at once, the only thing you could do is identify an existing stress in a fault line and somehow make it slip.
I mean, there are giant pockets. I wish they could show you. There you go.
Yeah, but that's going to move the water away from the shore, not towards it.
Well, it depends on where.
That's what you need to cause.
Yeah, it depends on where it happens, because there are submarine volcanoes which can produce enough push that this can happen in the middle of the sea somewhere. It doesn't actually have to be at the coast. and it could
But
be
the
used.
trick is you're not putting that energy into the water with the bomb. You're identifying an area where that stress already exists and simply relieving it.
Yeah, but this exists. Like there are canyons underwater that people don't realize. Like for instance, Monterey in California, there's a 1,700-meter canyon
Yeah.
right there at the base of the.
Yeah, and that slope has an awful lot of potential energy in it.
Right. So this can happen without anyone recognizing it. It doesn't have to be on land to produce this. Let's see if this one's another example here. There you go. Submarine canyons shaped and formed. So there's a lot.
Coming on the other side.
This is also interesting. This is in Israel. There's like, if you want to go on a vacation to Israel, you can go snorkeling, and you can snorkel and you can see this perhaps abandoned underwater base.
Ooh.
Right? You can actually go snorkeling right by it. So how cool is that? There's plenty of these examples all over the world, really. I think that's what's interesting, is there's so many underwater bases. And it's interesting timing because Glenn Maxwell, Terra Mars. Glenn Maxwell, if you ever watched anything that she's ever said, you know, because maybe you want to find out about the Epstein list or something like that, but you'll find nothing about that when she talks. You'll find her talking about the Terra Mar project, Mar being ocean, Terra being earth, and her excitement for saving the environment and helping corporate anarcho-capitalists to produce these underwater bases so that they could, well, to harvest minerals.
Girls, dude, pay attention.
No, I mean, her thing supposedly was to get minerals, oil, natural ore, all sorts of resources that were available just from the ocean, because in the ocean there's most of the resources. There could be gold, there could be silver, there could be diamonds, there could be copper, whatever, but there's tons of resources in the ocean. So Terra Mar project. Where's her flag? There's a flag for this too.
It's actually harder to keep the ocean out of a submarine than it is to keep an atmosphere inside of a spaceship. That's just, I just want to like put out the engineering challenge level there.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
It's harder to keep the ocean out of a submarine than it is to keep the atmosphere inside a spaceship.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because a spaceship is just inside of a base in Nevada. I mean,
a spaceship, all you have to do is worry about the inside of the spaceship. When you're keeping a submarine dry, you have to worry about the entire ocean trying to get in.
Well, the first spaceships were Nazi submarines equipped with like anti-gravitic technology, supposedly, and that's how they made it work, because the submarines worked.
They're basically the same thing.
I saw a documentary about a Confederate submarine a while ago, and I was just like taken aback by like how crazy people must have been to like get inside of
Hunley.
Yeah,
the Hunley's cool. There's a movie about the Hunley. I saw the Hunley when I was a kid in 2001. I think I was in Louisiana, and they pulled up the Hunley. There's actually 3 submarines that they produced, and the way they worked was.
I think 2 of them were the Hunley, and like one of them was built from the wreckage of the first.
I've seen at least one of them, so I'm not sure if it's rebuilt or not, because one of them was lost underwater for maybe 150 years, and they found it eventually. But it has this thing you row. Every man inside has to help pull this kind of
there's no engine,
bicycle propeller.
A bicycle,
yeah, and then it pushes the propeller.
And they have a bomb with a spike on it that they like gotta like nose up to the boat with and like implant it, and then they back away and it like the barb keeps it in.
Could you imagine the smell in that thing? Like if one guy farts, they're all fucked.
They're done.
Just your pits would smell enough.
One guy forgets to wear deodorant, they're done.
It probably smelled pretty bad in the 1850s.
Didn't even exist with the Civil War.
Oh, damn, dude. They're done, man. They're done.
They all died. Nobody survived that thing. It was
all die.
The dumbest thing you could possibly do is get inside of a steel contraption that was built in the 1800s.
They were doing really well. Like, they got a lot of boats destroyed. The only problem was they got, I think it was like an algae or a seaweed or some sort of moss stuck in the propeller. They couldn't move it at a certain point. So they let the water in to drown themselves instead of to die slowly from suffocation.
Damn.
They were in a lake. They could have swam out, I bet. It wasn't the ocean. It wasn't like they were not like Titanic deep.
I think they were like 150 feet or maybe even deeper.
Is that
And
too-
so like the pressure was
from that, yeah, but they would have lived.
I don't know if they could get out of that. It was pretty bad. Well, okay. So the point was there's a tsunami, there was an earthquake, and then what? Oprah refused to let anyone use her roads. That was
I'm
the
not sure
whales
if that's
died.
100%. We should double check that.
Yeah, I saw an article where she's got her people coming back and fighting back, saying that that's not true. But I just sent you a video via X there. If you check your messages, and
All passive aggressive like that. No, I'm just kidding.
that might not be the case. So no, I didn't mean like if you check.
No,
your
I was just kidding. I'm just jerking your Canadian chain, you know. But here we go. Damn Oprah. Should I turn the sound on or something?
Yeah, we're allowed to, aren't we?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan does that kind of stuff all
But
the
just
time.
like,
Yeah, if we're commenting on it and we're not just like reposting it, it's different.
Yeah.
It's literally the commentary exception.
yeah, the police had to open the road because she refused to let them in. That was what I heard.
Huh.
Was that the wrong video? Did you guys
So
like
the road
get to-
was opened, but not by her.
I didn't see the video.
Oh my god. I think I might have opened the wrong here we go. Sorry about that. Try that again.
There we go. So,
bro, save us. Road to all the way up country, bro. All the way up country. She got it all to herself. And everybody trying to get in. Cops trying to open it. Nope. Still closed.
Yep. And so this is the road system there. So you got the only other road from high ground is this giant red path, and then Oprah's road, which cuts straight across. And so it would have saved a lot of lives if it was open earlier. But for hours they couldn't open it, and then the police finally opened it. Is this true about Oprah Winfrey? No, it's not accurate to say Oprah Winfrey should be shamed into opening her private road for the tsunami evacuation. Spokesperson responded, stating the road was open as soon as the tsunami warnings were received in coordination with local law enforcement and FEMA. A statement reported by multiple outlets, including Newsweek. Okay. So, yeah, basically it took a long time at least to open the roads, and people were standing there waiting. I mean, that seems interesting. Surfing goat dairy.
Like, why do you need that much? Wow. I mean, she's worth $3.2 billion. I mean, we know the kind of trash she hangs around. John of God, Epstein, Harvey Weinstein.
I mean, all the Hawaiian billionaires, right? Zuckerberg.
I mean, she was
billionaire.
she was on the Epstein flight logs, wasn't she?
Wasn't she like good friends with Weinstein too?
Yeah, that's what I said. Weinstein as well. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I saw that it is a billionaire island, Oracle Island. They're definitely producing not just like retirement homes, but fortified, zombie-proof military bunkers with underground bases. And I mean, like Zuckerberg's island is crazy. Like, the amount of effort he's put into it. I don't know exactly all that Oracle has to it, but I know it's completely self-sustaining. It's its own little private nation.
Else's.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. Computer share. Red Bull.
Yeah, it's interesting that Red Bull's there.
I mean,
Yeah,
a
but
technocratically run, separate, like isolated land would be pretty interesting. I mean, there have been a couple of video games that like played with that idea. I'm pretty sure it's like some armed group, militant group takes over the island, hijacks the technology, and then you have to send in like
I feel like it would be like
American hero guys,
where the Mensa was the government, and it was just absolute chaos. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What is
We noticed that
sheep
people
dip
go
mean?
through yellow lights faster, so we got rid of the green.
Holy crap, alien scientist. Yo, everybody needs to check out Jeremy Reese's newest video. So, Jeremy, if you guys don't already follow Alien Scientist, let me just pull up his YouTube for a second. And also, you need to see, because he just did a Alien Scientist. He just did a video with Danny Brown. If I'll pull this up. You know Danny Brown?
Danny
yeah.
Jones.
Danny
Danny
Jones.
Jones. Sorry.
Danny Brown's the rapper.
Yeah, that's right. I do like I like them both. Okay. Like, if they're
Also,
both
sheep
good.
sheep dipping would be like Oswald, where he's in the military, but they're trying to sheep dip him, or he's in the CIA or whatever, but they're trying to sheep dip him as just a lonely
So
nut.
Danny Jones was on Joe Rogan, so you should have heard of him by now. But like, he just did I think the best interview of Danny Jones' life. This is gonna be probably the one for the ages. This is a 4-hour talk with Jeremy Reese. Jeremy Reese, who's a great friend of the channel, he's done a lot of amazing work. All of his alien scientist stuff. I mean, he had a channel on X that was basically, I don't know what happened with it, because he had 100,000 subscribers, but they suppressed him. So now he's got like a new X channel, but his YouTube videos are still popping. You can go to Alien Scientist right here. So 120 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers and everything. Got to check out his new Tesla Tech video, and he's going to put up a live, he said, probably later. So we'll all be watching that. But let me do a quick audio just to give you like a leak of what Danny Jones put up of his.
And the analysts, which it's interesting that the Commerce Department also helped to cover up 9/11 after the fact, because the Commerce Department owns the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, which wrote all the reports saying, the fires brought the buildings down, and that they couldn't possibly have been pre-planted explosives or demolition devices or anything like that, which numerous physicists and engineers have, there's architects and engineers, 9/11 Truth. There's a whole ton of people that have examined these buildings. There was a $1 million study by the University of Alaska Fairbanks that published a comprehensive 147-page study and analyzing the collapse of just World Trade Center Building 7, which is that third tower that nobody on the mainstream media will talk about, and we only know about because of alternative news media and everything. And all these people are super connected. That's the Solomon Brothers building. Solomon Brothers is Solomon Smith Barney, which went through that whole big merger and became Citigroup. So basically, Citicorp, that whole thing, that was the major tenant inside that building. And who worked for
Citigroup?
Who worked for Solomon Smith Barney? Yeah, Solomon Smith Barney merged into Citigroup in a very large merger. But who worked for Solomon Smith Barney in World Trade Center Building 7? But none other than Dick Cheney and Donald Rumsfeld. You can look up Dick Cheney and Donald Rumsfeld's resume. They both sat on the Foreign Policy Advisory Board for Solomon Smith Barney Bank, which was in World Trade Center 7. It was the largest tenant. And they quit right before joining the Bush administration. And then who's running security in the buildings? Well, the security, of course, was run by the Port Authority of New York, New Jersey, and a guy named Alan Reese, who's got some interesting connections himself. But the security systems themselves were designed, and the electronics and all the badging and all that stuff, all the camera systems and all the badging, all the electronic stuff was designed and installed by a company called Securicom Stratasec, which was actually a subsidiary of a company called Kuwaiti American Corporation. And these guys, George Bush's brother, Marvin Bush, sat on the board of directors for that company, which ran security at the trade centers.
He goes pretty deep into all of this. I think it's amazing because he covers basically any question you ever had about 9/11 or Roswell. He talks about Epstein list. He goes pretty hard in the paint. So I would highly recommend, if you haven't already checked it out, just like it's like a 4-hour video or something crazy like that, right?
Would you be surprised if they built buildings that tall without pre-wiring them to come down? Think about it. If it was like damaged in such a way that made it completely unsafe to even approach. Like, how else would you handle that? You would need to build it with a self-destruct button from the beginning.
Dude, I can't believe you got this. Is like this. These are definitely the best episodes from Danny Jones. I mean, honestly, you guys see the first one he did, which is
we can't see that.
Really? Oh, sorry. He did a video like 2 years ago with him. This is a pretty interesting one as well. This is probably before a lot of people were watching Danny Jones. Although still 1.1 million views, so it's still pretty solid. Talking about Bob Lazar and everything like that. He's like very candid about Bob Lazar and whether or not any of the stuff about element 115 is real, anti-gravity, the whole thing, whatever government projects are going on.
Well,
JFK, Montauk.
It's just a matter of how long the actual atom stays together before it flies apart.
Right. Well,
Like,
here's a whole thing on
atoms
whether or not Bob Lazar really has access to anything, or whether Bob Lazar is kind of being used as sort of a like a dog whistle or sort of a honeypot for researchers into anti-gravity tech. Because Jeremy Reese, alien scientist, does all sorts of real anti-gravity tech. So, he knows a lot about the actual technology that's being used and all the groups that are being purchased by the government so that they basically disappear one by one. Anytime they come up with any kind of serious research, their companies get purchased. You can really tell if something's real, they go bankrupt, and if or they get purchased and disappear right away. But yeah, I think this is just crazy. The Epstein UFO files, definitely need to check out this video. Pretty solid stuff. To me, this is Danny Jones' best video, his best interview so far. So,
Yo, you ever heard of Area 52?
which one's Area 52? Yeah, of course.
They
but
made a
it's
sequel?
Topana Test Range, you're saying, right?
No. Area 52 is this YouTube channel, and he recently had a guy, Dr. Michael Masters, and he was saying some really interesting shit about it.
There is
it's a YouTube channel.
Tonopah.
Area 52 is a YouTube channel.
Okay, but there is an Area 52.
I know.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
they're just
Adjacent to
literally
the S2
designations
facility.
on a coordinate map.
Area 52.
Like there's going to be an area 1 and an area 53. I bet.
Not subscribed. I haven't seen it. So yeah, what's
This
he
guy's
talking
fucking
about?
good. I like him.
Legit. I like his outfit.
He talks about a lot of the shit you talk about too. How like a lot of these ET could actually just be humans from the future in
his setup is
in a
pretty
genetic
cool.
bottleneck. Yeah.
Look at his setup.
That's
This
yeah, it's
studio.
beautiful. I like
And one of
it.
the things I really like about what he was saying, I really like the pet theories that kind of tie in with like the esoteric occult shit, like with what was that lady's name? Dorothy something. She said the way these crafts work is they shift their own state, like vibrational state or frequency. So it's not that they're traveling as far as we know it in conventional terms. What they're doing is they're staying in place, and all of reality is moving around them. So, same thing. Like if I were to say if I were to go get up and walk into another room, instead of my body moving from point A to point B, it stays in point A, but it's like I just do the necessary expenditure of energy to shift my reality and my coordinates of where I am. It's not that I'm moving. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it differently though, because you wouldn't have to rely on like conventional propulsion, I guess, to move a craft if you mastered that kind of like framework for travel,
Yeah, what do you think's going on with that? So do you kind of believe in it at this point that that they have this technology, or do you still think it's probably just like?
Listen,
I saw that South Park recently where they fake it, where it's like the kids look at the Hardy Boys. The Hardy Boys are looking into like 9/11 and who shit in the urinal.
Yeah,
and it's the South Park kids are trying to figure out who shit in the urinal.
I got a raging clue right now. My clue's pointing this way. Let's follow it.
Yeah.
Oh,
but like,
yeah.
the whole point of the episode is that the kids,
the
government's pretending to have done all these horrible, amazing things because that way people will believe that they're hardcore. They didn't actually do 9/11, but they want you to think they did. Like, what do you think? Do you think that's more Occam's razor, or do you think it's like they have this technology that they kind of have it together like that? Time travelers and all that.
I mean, the only thing that really makes it make sense for me is my own like personal shit, and you can't really form opinions on anecdotal shit. But I will say, like, maybe it's not just like a straight line, like maybe the trajectory of a life is very multifaceted, and the state that you're in right now is going to really determine which quantum reality collapses that you're going to experience. It really does start within. It's not that life happens to you, and it's not that you happen to life. It's something else,
You mean the future is affected by the present?
No, I mean, like, all right, so there's multiple futures. What's going to ultimately determine which future you experience? The one where you end up as a transsexual, the one where you end up in prison, the one where you end up a billionaire, the one where you end up, I don't know, like poor, like which one, like and what really determines that? And I really think it's your state. It's your own state.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, there are environmental factors, I'm sure too, but like I'm all about radical self-efficacy, and like you're pretty much, your fate is like the product of your own state. So that's why, I think it's like important to practice gratitude and shit. Because if I'm in a positive state, then hopefully I'll end up in a positive like end or a future or whatever.
That's the Onion episode with the guy from Al Qaeda all over again. Epstein definitely sold a compromised house to Lutnick in '98. Well, tell us these things, bro. Like, I'll link you up if you want to like jump in and talk about Epstein. Like, let's check your email. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's probable that there are a small clandestine group of people that know more than everybody else, and that there's a buffer zone of idiots. You know, most of the people that are like the butlers of politics that don't really know what's going on. Like, I don't think that Gavin Newsom really knows what's going on. But then again, Bush played an idiot.
Yeah, I feel like the federal government doesn't tell the state governments as much as they should. I feel like the federal government keeps more things hidden than they should overall.
Yeah, or like even like what is the federal government? Like how much of the federal government really knows what's going on? Probably
Or does
like
the federal
1%.
government really represent anyone to begin with? Like what's going on? Like the federal government was supposed to be comprised of the states and given its power to by the states, and it seems to be somehow superseding the states now, which is odd.
Yeah, big time, man.
It,
It's almost
it
like
was
the
supposed to
other
be a
way around.
compromise where we, just figured out how to have everyone all get along. It wasn't supposed to actually be superseding state laws.
Yeah, that's kind of what been killing me recently about the whole California thing, because any other time in history, as a Californian, would you have wanted, like if I was a Texan, for instance, would I have wanted Obama to go into Texas with the federal government and tell them that Texas isn't allowed to do what Texas wants to do?
Yeah, that's why it's weird to me to even have like something like a federal Department of Education at all. Like, why does?
But it's even weirder now, like ICE, for instance, because ICE, you're like having the federal government go into California and tell California they're not allowed to have Mexican illegal, according to the federal government, but tolerated by the California government. On one hand, I can totally get behind it. It's like, cool, like we're trying to follow the American values, whatever. But the California government should have its own rights to do whatever the hell it wants, right? Like, isn't that kind of the irony of the whole thing? And we're just pushing now to say, well, the state has to do, because we hate California, we hate Gavin Newsom, so we're like, yeah, don't ever let them have any freedom again, or autonomy, or independent government. California shouldn't be sovereign, but that, I mean, it seems like it took that level.
State sovereignty is a doctrine that's often protected in court, which is
except for right now with ICE and
stamped by the federal government.
Like ICE, they finally figured out a situation where like we can get most Americans to agree to take away California's sovereignty because they're doing something like we got a state that everybody.
Well, let's say if you lived in a neighborhood in California, right, and it wasn't even just like even a particular type of person. They would say there was just like a group of people on the block who was just a bunch of assholes. Like it was like 20 homeless people who all got together and rented out a house, and it all is just like not being taken care of. It's
like New York City.
Drugs. Yes, just like what's going on in New York City a lot. Why shouldn't you and your neighbors just be able to get together and say we vote you off the block? Like, why is that not allowed in any municipality anywhere? If you can't clean up your own neighborhood, then are you really free?
I mean, you're not free. That's kind of the point. Like, they've completely fucked the whole idea of freedom in the United States. And we're into it. America's all about it right now. They're like, well, let's not get rid of that freedom.
I mean, let's not forget, like, take the NYPD, for example. They are legit. I mean, if you're going to, like, call them
RGZ is always bringing the devil's advocate position here. He says, then don't you think California would make pedophilia legal if the federal law didn't count it as their choice?
Yeah, but if people could vote people off of their own block, then it wouldn't matter if the whole state made it legal. Like, they could just say, like, you're going to get the fuck out of here if you're pulling that shit.
But also, like, we have states where it's 18.
Not even whole states, just towns.
16.
Like actual groups of people saying this is how we want to live. If somebody wants to come here and fuck that up, we're going to ask them politely at first to leave.
But that's what the cops are supposed to be. That's what, like, every local police department is basically the biggest gang in the city. Local
municipalities are not empowered to just, like, eject somebody from a town in America for some reason.
No, because over time they got
California's age of consent is 18. Okay.
Now, I don't think we need to be looking these numbers up. Jesus.
No, we do because Riggs just brought up pedophilia. So California's age of consent is 18. Now there are other states where it's 17, right?
Just keep it above 18 everywhere, and you'll.
What about 16?
Right. That. I say 25. How about that?
Yeah, I feel like Republican states seem to like it around 17 to 16. So, like, do you want to get back into that conversation about which states are for that again? I'm just saying, it just seems kind of ironic, Riggs, because Seems like the exact opposite. This seems to be happening here. I'm looking at these Republican states, and they've got the lowest. They have the lowest age of consent. I'm just saying, just like from your own argument.
Well, all those states also.
Wow, I
I don't
never
know
knew
if this.
that.
I don't know if this correlates, but there's like a lot less people in those states, right?
I
Oh, is that what
guess.
they're
I
trying to
mean,
do?
I don't know. I mean, I just noticed that like all the states with younger ages.
California has the most people in it for sure, but like
And
Texas,
New York and
Texas got a
Florida.
lot of people.
Not as
yeah,
much
what
as
about
California and New York, you know.
New York is 18 as well. Okay, New Jersey, Pennsylvania is pretty low. Minnesota, Dakota, Montana, South Dakota. A lot of these states are pretty sparse, I guess you could say, for sure.
Yeah.
But
Wisconsin
still, like,
doesn't even exist. It's literally a rounding error.
what about where is it? Illinois is 16 too, which is a blue state. So, hey, American Time Machine showed up. We're talking about the age of consent. And you're not wearing a shirt,
Oh, Kurt is looking good.
bro.
You're muted, ma.
You are muted.
Oh,
But you know what? You're so beautiful. It's almost like he's a blonde
Check
boy.
1 2. Check
Okay.
1 2.
Oh yeah, there he is.
There he is.
I check in, and the first thing I see is all of you creating a meme about yourselves.
Take it easy.
Very nice, very nice. Good old Pennsylvania. That's where I'm from. I'm gonna try to set this up here. So yeah, you can do the 16-year-old women here. It's awesome.
Do you do
From what I know, there are always there are nuances to what is advertised as consent laws, I think, but not that I've exercised these rights
When
or
you say
anything.
nuances, you mean that like there's things that are more illegal than what it lets on, not less illegal than what it lets on.
Yeah. Generally, it would be like
You have to be more careful than that map is telling you to be. Yeah, and you should be.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Agreed.
but yeah, people find themselves now. It's like, well, in my opinion, you shouldn't even even if we lived in the world, where 16-year-old women wanted your body, which doesn't really actually happen in reality. But now the world is full of those people who've made predator catching into its own YouTube monetization thing, which I'm all for monetizing criminality and turning it into a game show just to shame people in public, right?
Incentivize the captures, yeah.
Yeah. There's always two sides to the coin in the sense that, well, it's how much of society. Yeah, I guess what do we treat as a means of entertainment? And I don't know if criminal justice should be a means of entertainment. It's well, a lot of people don't like to think for themselves too. That's another thing.
Don't tell me what I shouldn't be entertained by. God damn it!
I love my true crime.
True crime.
I don't really like watching true crime as much because it usually involves actual murders and all sorts of crazy investigations. I like seeing the scammers getting caught.
I like state crime way better. I missed the. Do you remember Carmen Sandiego? They're like Carmen Sandiego has stolen the Eiffel Tower. Fake crime was way more interesting. Yeah.
What kind of crime? Fake crime?
Yeah, because true crime is always just your neighbor kid, he robbed, he killed.
He was always nice to me, though.
I like reading about both. I like the scammers that don't get away with it, and then the scammers that do get away with it. Like the guy that scammed Al Capone. That was a pretty good fucking story.
Oh yeah, as long as it involves just somebody playing a game rather than actually hurting people, it's a lot more interesting. As soon as somebody's getting hurt over it, it's that's kind of not really the point here.
Well, to me, that's what art is. Art is that scam where no one's really getting hurt, but people are definitely
just like the thieves' honor. It's all right, I'm caught here. Just shit back. Please don't hurt me. Call the police. I'll leave.
That's why art thievery is so interesting to me because it's also
cat
the market for it.
burglars.
Yeah. If you steal jewels and paintings, the only people who would buy that off you are Saudis, the Saudi Arabian princes. They're like, yes, I want that. I want it. I don't care. Give me it. I must have it, and they'll pay.
They're probably commissioning the thieves. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
That too. That's possible.
If you really wanted something that badly and you were that powerful, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Not just Saudi royalty, any royalty.
It's I want it. It's no one else has this shit. It's a historical piece, and I like it.
I bet it's a game between the really high level guys to send cat burglars to each other's complexes and shit.
Yeah, could. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
be surprised.
Andreas, this is our new.
It's like as
next
long as you don't
project.
ever arm them, we're all good. It will never involve like anything serious.
I was just remembering Tim Pool when like we had that cat. They were calling the cat kidnapper, and it's like literal cat burglary. Burglary of cats. Wait, I'm sorry. I didn't even really notice your tattoo before. Look at your tattoo, Kurt.
What is that?
It's sorry for copyright. It's the original Pokemon artwork. For the TCG of Gyarados.
Nice.
Oh my god, bro.
So that's copyright and trademark all in one. Jeez.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
your own.
Walking
Essentially,
infringement.
does that mean that like Nintendo owns you? Like, because if it's on your body, doesn't that mean they own the rest of the like the art?
Well,
And you're the
I
rest
don't
of the
know.
art?
No, it just means he owes the money.
It's I don't know how that works. Like if I assume most corporations, they like the free advertisement. Like if a famous artist has like a certain tattoo of something, and they like take off their shirt on stage, I don't think they actually pay royalties. Maybe if they got to a legal
No,
standpoint, maybe.
The way it works with copyright is the artist who did that would probably owe them a little bit of an explanation at least.
Yeah.
And unless you're using that to falsely represent that you're working with the Pokemon company, you're in the clear with trademark.
Oh, that's
I
pretty
think
cool.
Gold just reacted to
If you're
Caleb
working
Hammer
with Pokemon,
earlier.
then you're fucked.
Did
So
you
you
see?
got to make
You
sure
guys,
that you never mislead people with that.
No,
do you know who Caleb
I've
Hammer
never,
is?
I've never
No.
seen this guy, Osmongold or whatever.
You've never seen Asmongold?
It's
No.
like Tim Pool had a baby with Six Hammer.
And
It's a
also
way
had a
of-
baby with rats.
It's the best. He's the number one YouTuber in the world. He's the
I thought Mr.
third
Beast
most
was
searched.
Mr. Beast.
Yeah,
was,
like
Mr.
5,000 minutes ago. Like now it's Asmongold. Asmongold is the biggest one. He's like the number 7 or 6 most searched term on Google. He's freaking huge. It's huge, bro.
he just sips out of pop cups and look at him. That slime.
Dude, this is his room.
He's like the
right
right
now.
Yeah, I
wing.
know.
He's like the right wing voice critical.
But yeah, so Caleb Hammer, he was watching a Caleb Hammer video. He does reactions to stuff. So Caleb Hammer was interviewing all these people that are like in debt and are retarded.
Let's watch it. Let's watch some of it.
Oh, well, okay.
Can we?
Basically, the point, yeah, I think we probably get away with that. Watching a watch of a watch, I think it's
Yeah.
probably legal, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, I gotta do it again. I did it wrong here.
Quick little peek so we know.
Oh,
You fucked up.
Oh,
You shouldn't have done that.
Something else to be concerned about?
Yeah, I wasn't aware of the
Yes.
total at the time.
You weren't. What did you think it was?
Wait, how much?
Is something else to be. Technically, I'm a millennial by 1 year,
YouTube your face.
but I would also
Because
say
last year was-
80,000 hours of bad debt is
$80,000.
something else to be concerned about.
so he's like interviewing people that have like way too much debt, right? And like you'll notice this guy.
I wasn't aware
At 35?
of
Look
the.
at this
They're
show.
35?
The
What
35.
is wrong with you? It's a
No.
Let me go back a little bit here.
Why are you here?
Ultimately,
Here we go.
our spending has gotten out of hand.
How?
All right.
And he starts doing some investigation, and he realizes that all these people whose spending's gotten out of hand, they all have Pokemon.
Pokemon
Characters.
again, bro. It's the same Pokemon.
really?
Yeah, she's
And-
got a Pokemon. She's got her.
Espeon.
What the heck?
And that's Torchic.
And
That's-
you go back earlier. This one, she had a Pokemon tattoo.
Well,
She
the
got,
Zelda
10,000
tattoo.
Oh yeah, people who have a lot of tattoos in general, they're always super rich or completely destitute poor. No in between.
Yeah, I never heard that
Absolutely,
before.
absolutely. Oh my
That's
God,
amazing.
That's
Look at her!
great.
Look at her moo bro. Her moo has got
Wow.
the Bulbasaur moo like going on. They're
Yeah.
all they all got Pokemon like tattoos going on, man. I mean, there's other problems with them clearly, but that seems like a pretty great. And they
First of
all
all,
make
all right, let me just get something straight. I don't think there's anything wrong with like investing in Pokemon memorabilia if you could get a return out of your investment.
Not
Like, if holding
investing
on to
in-
that
I
shit.
feel like at this point it's kind of wild. If you did it back when we were in 3rd grade, like that's legit because what else were you gonna do in 3rd grade? Because Bitcoin didn't exist yet. But I mean,
Beanie Babies.
at this point, yeah, it's basically investing in something that's blown up already. It's a blown up scene. It's like investing in Hummel dolls when all of the old people are
It's
dead
a bubble.
already. And
Well,
we
it's
buy
a
them.
bubble that's burst already, I guess.
It's a bubble
Like real
sort of,
estate.
yeah. So I don't know. Something weird about that. You gotta be really careful about your Pokemon. Gotta be careful about your Pokemon investments.
Just
see
saying.
you in the front. Yeah.
I'm just saying, as a person that just placed second at a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, if you want to watch that, go ahead.
Congratulations, buddy.
What do you
That's
mean
why
watch
the spending gets out of control. The cards, like hundreds of dollars for a piece of cardboard.
I got second in a GOAT format Yu-Gi-Oh tournament.
What's
where
format?
GOAT format is the 2005 format where you get an entire deck and it costs you probably $20. And that's the same for about the 2010 format, which is called Edison. And it's pretty much the same deal. I got my entire Edison deck for $15 shipped to my house. It's when you go retro, that's why a lot of gamers are starting to go into retro formats, because they're unchanging and they're very, very cheap to play. So
where can I even see? What this is like copywritten?
Unlimited deck sizes.
They won't even let me show the video because this is copywritten, bro. They know that someone's already giving them trouble about it. Where do I even go to find your video, bro?
Feel Good Gaming. You can type in Feel Good Gaming, and yeah, that's the channel. Oh, Goat Grand Prix. That was the first one.
You know, I've actually this is making me think about, like, I've been trying to figure out if I should collect something that I could just sell for a lot of money in the future, and I don't know what it is. Maybe comics, maybe
probably like children.
Well, yeah. I was featured actually 4 times. This was the first.
Holy cow, bro! There he is, bro.
Look at him go! I'm surprised you don't have the armband thing with the plate.
That's crazy, bro.
I purposely made my hairline look terrible for this tournament.
You want to be authentic. That's pretty cool. Your glasses, you got like kind of the chin, that focused Germanic chin look that you get when you're about to like defeat Prussians. Kind of.
What are some bad things to collect? Like, I think cars are pretty bad. Maybe sneakers, Beanie Babies,
ex-girlfriends,
shit that takes up a lot of space.
Gallons of milk.
Alimony.
We'll never resell those.
Those Gundam model kits.
Dude, there was a milk.
Gundam's cool.
Milk theft in my town not too long ago. Somebody stole a whole truck full of milk, and I'm sitting here thinking, who the fuck is gonna buy milk from a fence? What the fuck?
Yeah,
like this shit's gonna go bad.
A Ukrainian gas station, like pretty much anybody, a restaurant that is on hard times.
If you're already rich enough to collect fine art, that's like one of the only physical, tangible assets that you can collect that will keep up with the S&P 500. Otherwise, you're better off investing in I guess you could say intangible assets that would, they're actually representing something else. Like, even if you invest in buy gold, if you go backtrack gold, it's a stable investment, but like the S&P has outpaced gold by such a huge margin. I'm not saying this because I'm pro capitalism or anything. It's just like, well, if the question is where do I park my money, you park it into
just put it in the S&P 500.
Yeah,
in a fucking securities ETF.
Yeah.
The craziest thing I've seen collected was my dad. He showed me his fishing reel collection, and he told me he had a collection.
By the way, that was financial advice. Holy shit!
What? Oh yeah, dump all your money into the S&P 500
amongst ourselves. That's nobody's recommended to do that.
Hey, my financial advice is don't be a fucking dumbass. And also my advice is if you put money into a savings account, your government is like very reckless and debases your currency every year. So you might as well have something that's moving at it.
The smartest thing to do with your money is to just spend it as soon as you get it. This way you actually get the value before it inflates.
What is this, Argentina? But
my investment advice is don't dump your money in cars or boats. I think that shit is like really bad. Especially if you're not like rich.
Fucking sarcasm, and it's not investment advice,
dude. Invest in credit card debt, basically. Because you could pretty much just like get enough credit card debt that you die with like $100,000 or $1 million in credit card debt and not pay it off.
Just get a bunch of loans from a bunch of different companies and then die before anybody can collect on them.
Like isn't that Jeff Bezos' whole schema? Like he's gonna.
He never earned $1 in his life. He just borrowed it all. It's been fucking Ponziing the thing the whole time.
Brilliant.
We have to invest in people. We have to put money into providing.
If Jeff Bezos invest in slaves, you should just buy a shit ton of books and resell those.
My God, I can't believe I'm watching you win this right now. You're doing some pretty hardcore moves right here, bro.
Well, this is the finals, and his record's 5-1. I was his only loss in the Swiss rounds that day. But then we faced in the finals, and he got me that time. It's like it was fun. That's all that matters. Yeah, it's still. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is probably a very garbage game, and most card games will have.
So you are basically one of the greatest. You're the goats of Yu-Gi-Oh! You are the goat. That's what that means, really.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate that.
That's wild. We didn't know we were dealing with a Yu-Gi-Oh! Master. I thought you had some kind of mild interest in this, but look at you go. Look at
They're
how
called dual masters, man. All right.
Watch his fingers finesse those cards.
Do they ever actually wear the thing on their arm, or is that just a TV thing?
Dual disc.
If people are doing it as a meme, there's one guy that's kind of blowing up on social media because he cosplays as Seto Kaiba and just says like the most off the wall crap you can imagine. Like, I'm so rich, I own the Hooters next door. You know, it's
one of my favorite parts about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is how the cards across different countries, like different regions, the art is different. Like if you look at like Monster Reborn, it's this weird crest thing in the Western version, but in the Japanese card, it's like the Ankh, I think.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty well versed in like there's like the trading card game was made for the West, and the original card game OCG was made for, you know, the East, the base game. And sometimes, you know, we had a real like nanny approach to cards in the West. It's like, no, you got to censor that before it comes here. So there's a lot of different artworks that got updated when they came to the trading card game, and some of them are actually really, really funny, and some of them are really like, what the heck, you know? Like for example, there's a set of cards that's kind of riffs off the saying, you know, the emperor has no clothes. So one of the cards has like a king, but he's like totally shirtless. But then when it came to the TCG, they made the artist like cover him with a tank top or like a beater just to cover like his nipples. And it was like,
like a king.
Why? You know, that's not a real
OG.
Oh, it was just totally uncensored. Wow,
that's not real.
That's just a meme. I guarantee that one's just a meme. But one card is called Barrel Behind the Door, and the original artwork, it's literally just like a gun, like inside of an Egyptian temple that's booby trapped. And they decided to censor it, and everybody, it's like kind of funny, but the way they censored it, they just turned it into like a golden Egyptian artwork gun that still fires. So that's the original, and the updated one is the golden one.
That looks way cooler, dude. If I had a gun that looked like that,
that is way better.
What's the point of that?
I like
so much more
like
stylized. I fucking love that. That looks Egyptian now. Yeah, that fits with the rest of the art style of the.
It's kind of racist, honestly.
I would use that gun.
No, they were actually using stuff like that on their like tombs and stuff. I think it's a good homage. It's not racist. What do you guys think?
No, I was just joking. I don't think it's racist.
Yeah. I think racism is awesome. We need more racism.
We
like
do.
Basically,
or what people
like,
consider racism anyway.
Like, yeah, totally. Like, they should make, like there should be like the next commercial from American Eagle needs to be like some people in a cotton field, like picking cotton, and they're like, "This is where we get those good genes." Epigenetic, bro. Yeah,
no, I think racism has to evolve. We need a population of humans that either grew up like underwater or in space, and they got to be racist against us, and we got to be racist against them. Like, fuck these space noids. They don't know shit about like the OG life on Earth, and they're looking at us like
racist to be racist against.
Yeah, these fucking dirt monkeys, these fucking savages still living on this floating rock.
Earthlings are dirt monkeys, and then also all AI will just call us all meat bags because we're just bags of meat, bro.
That's what we need. We need hyper racism. We need to step up. We need to transcend.
My brother and his friends were all hyper racist. That was a real thing because we had this one friend and they called him Chink, even though he was Ukrainian, and it was because his aura was yellow. Because Santa Cruz is weird like that, you know. And I feel like there's a lot of that we could do where it's not racism based on your ethnicity, but just sort of on your vibe, you know.
Oh no! Oh, you're an atheist? Ew! Get the fuck away from me and my children.
Yeah, pretty close, bro. I don't know.
Damn.
I don't know. Well, okay, wait, Kurt, you were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh, but like then capitalism was there, and then you had your tattoo up. I feel like I don't know. I feel like we cut you off. Am I wrong? Is this the first time we didn't cut you off before?
Hey, if you feel like I was going somewhere, just remind me of where I was going, and I'll get
Dude,
back.
how
to
would
it.
I know? How would I know where you were going? You know,
You
I
were
think
talking about the censorship in Yu-Gi-Oh artwork.
that's true.
Yeah. Oh, it was just it's just kind of a funny phenomenon. That's I don't know how I got onto that one, but it is a funny phenomenon, and it still kind of happens. But like, if you want more funny examples, there's a card called Foolish Burial, or wait, no,
Yes.
not Foolish Burial. I think actually both, and there's Premature Burial. So Premature Burial in the OCG, the grave was marked with an X, and they felt like that the X had to be censored, the red X over the grave, and so like it's just like a shining circle in the TCG. So sometimes but like you got to realize how much like evangelism, like Christian evangelism, really had like a whole hold on like censorship around the 90s and when all this was coming out, and it's kind of
Oh yeah, Nintendo had a policy throughout I think the late 80s, early 90s, and all the way up to now. You don't include any religious iconography in any of the games,
Except for Zelda. Zelda was a Teutonic Christian knight. You know, he always has the cross on his shield and everything.
I think they got away with like a little bit of that, yeah, in Zelda, and that was it. And they even made them take a lot of that out.
Oh,
Yeah,
what about Ed
racism
Sheeran?
can be funny.
This is true. Is this racism?
The Rainbow
though? I mean,
too. It's racism and homophobia all in one.
Is this because Ed Sheeran likes breakfast? I don't know. I don't see a problem with this.
Yum.
realistically. Yeah.
Yeah, explain this. I don't get this.
Really?
Irish people made gay marriage legal, and they have bad teeth because of the sugar.
They just have one big mono tooth in the top and the bottom.
You guys made me.
Andy Warhol ever did.
No, you just made me look up the racist Magic the Gathering cards.
Oh, here we go.
Now, one is called Invoke Prejudice, and it has dudes with pointed hoods on.
That's awesome.
So literally, Andreas will
do
probably
this.
pull it up because, like, this is just for facts.
Yeah, where do I find? Send this in the private chat. Just link it over here.
Or
tell
you
me
can
what to look up.
just type Invoke Prejudice Magic, and I'm sure that'll come up.
Invoke Prejudice Magic.
Invoke Prejudice.
Oh, Invoke Prejudice. Okay. Invoke Prejudice. Okay.
I do that all the time in real life.
It's true.
The text is if opponent casts a summon spell that does not match the color of one of the creatures under your control, that spell is countered unless the caster pays an additional cost or the casting cost of the summon spell. I don't understand what all that means, but it's like it seems a little bit sus. But then you get into the details. Apparently, like they attribute the artist to doing some, pretty racist things in general, and they ended up banning that card from the card.
This does not meet Magic's community standards. What? That's crazy that they tried to like block that card. I did a racist the other day. All natural baby was this guy, Jacksepticeye. He's like a YouTuber or something like that.
No idea.
He does like video gaming. And
okay.
Yeah, basically, where was it? I said like why do where is it at? I was like, why do Irish people, it was like worse than that. Where did it go? I was like, why do Scottish people there you go. Why do Scottish people hair turn white at 21? It's crazy because I figured out like the only way to get X to work is to be retarded. As long as you act retarded, you'll trigger somebody. So most of my posts
bother people.
Yeah, most of my X posts are like a little too highbrow, and you can tell because they get like not a lot of responses on
It's
anything
too smart
I
for
post.
Twitter, bro.
I mean, that's how I sleep at night, and I don't sleep very well. But but then I was like, why does Scottish people's hair turns white at 21? 100,000 views. That's all it takes. That's really all it. You got people being like, oh my God, he's Irish. Is that French or something? 11,000 views. It's crazy. It's all it takes. Like if you just call Irish people French people, and then someone was like, die, drown, like, all these Irish people were just freaking out, everyone in Ireland to,
how people of color get offended when you call them colored people? What if like white people started demanding to be called people of white or people
Or
of
how
power?
about like just by nation of origin and not being lumped together? Because I feel like German people and English people and French and Italians all look very different.
Yeah, I feel like the thing is like there's more color variety between what people refer to as white people, like the Pink Floyd kind of thing, right? Like, I mean, look at this guy's face right here. He's got like hues of shades of pink, little bits of like, kind of
Who are the real people of color?
octamaroon. Yeah, look at this guy right here. You might think he's white because he's got like some speckled white on his knees, but look at all the earth tones and that pink, like that swine-like pinkness. That he's beautiful.
Oh my
really.
god.
It's not very white. I don't know. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it's just like there's more color variety, so we should really be called. I think white people need to be called colored folk.
Yeah,
That
us
Yeah,
makes
look
more
at
sense
Chris.
to
He
me.
looks
non-white
different
people,
from all of us. Like, is
we're
he
just-
really white?
We're just different shades of brown, honestly, like all over.
Yeah, gamma colors, right? Yeah, ruddy complexion. Ooh, that could be the name of our new band. Something to that, probably. I don't know. Racism's fun though. That's the thing. I think they need to bring it back, and that's probably what's going on today.
The
I
king-
noticed
the-
with the
Who do you think is the king of racism? Who is the guy that wrote
Biden.
about Cthulhu? Who's
Owen
the guy that made
Benjamin?
who made Cthulhu?
Oh, H.P. Lovecraft.
H.P. Lovecraft. He was the king of fucking racism, I think.
Oh, this cat.
The way he describes like Red Hook, just insane. Like I forgot what book that was in, but I was just reading this shit. I was like, I think this guy is deeply racist.
Yeah, he had some serious
Good.
problems for sure. I think he wasn't like the king of racism. He was just your average autist in the 30s. But it depends on what you mean by like the king of racism. Because to me, like the king of racism is probably like a lesbian chick somewhere who is demanding, like who works in HR and thinks that like white privilege exists, right? Like that to me is probably like more racist than I can't even say the name of the Wiggeroth antithesis. That's what I'm gonna say. I can say Wiggeroth, but I can't say Ninjaroth, basically. I know what you're talking about. I know like the dark demon of H.P. Lovecraft, N-word in his name. It's incredible.
Another example that I saw recently, you mentioned Owen Benjamin, but I liked his review of Pleasantville and like how he kind of like quoted it with like, who are the real people of color? And that was like a really good review. And personally, like I saw Pleasantville and I think it is kind of a satanic movie in retrospect,
Maitland's talking about my dad. Maitland's a kid from Alabama. And so he says, Xirtus' dad always tried to be racist with me. He'll say so and so and so, but it's just because you're Dutch. And I think that's pretty true. Because he's got that pale complexion as well. And he's like, I didn't even know I was Dutch. It's like, dude, your name is Maitland. It means meadow in Dutch, bro. And I never knew what he was talking about. That's the thing. I think we're like in a scary point, like at a precipice in history where people don't even know who they are anymore, what racism is. Like Europeans don't know. Like you can say an American will tell a European that they're like Germanic or like Spanish or something like that. When they get really confused because they're like, you're not from Spain, you're from California, or like you're not from Korea, you're from New York. It's like, yeah, but like mine bloods, my blood, which is just to them a very Nazi talking point to talk about your blood. So they don't even really they're all Napoleonic. All they care about is the soccer team that you are part of now. They don't care where you come from or where you've been. It's like right now you are, so which is really weird because I feel like other people do. Like Turks care about being Turkish, even if they're born in Germany. So I don't know. It's a weird idea. I think the helicopters are coming now. They're on their way.
I mean, the concept of a nation like that has only been around for like the last 300 or so years.
Yeah, like since Napoleon. Napoleon invents France. He was from Corsica. How does that work out? Like, I just don't even get, like, where does this idea of nation states even work that hard? Yeah, Napoleonic versus Hitlerian. Hitlerian's a cool word because it sounds like hilarious to me.
Oh, God.
Because it is kind of funny.
I gotta turn my coffee on. I'll be back.
Speaking of Asmongold, how is calling people of Jewish ethnicity a demonic entity not an instant permaban? What is going on? I'm starting to think that Twitch does actually have an anti-Semitism problem. Yeah, this is, South Park's going to have a new episode tonight about that, I think, to some extent. I don't know how far they're going to go. Yeah, the last week did you see last week's South Park?
I missed it, actually. I need to catch up.
With Trump?
Dude, I thought it was AI, but it's not. Look at, there's a picture of him with his wiener, and his wiener turned out to be the finger of Trey Parker. Trey Parker's finger. It's so good. I mean,
so wait, it's not an animated episode?
No, I mean it is, but last week they said that they have to make 50 new episodes for Paramount, and Paramount has a deal with Trump. Let's go to the what's her name? Jill Stein. Is that right? Is that what they call her? What's her name? Jill. What's the Senator Elizabeth Warren, man? No, I'm sorry, I don't know where I got that.
That was like
Elizabeth.
a candidate from the Green Party, I think.
Yeah, that's right. It was. That's why I mix up all of the screaming feminist fever bringing.
My wife.
Take my wife, please take her. I don't know where to go to even find the thing because, like, dude, honestly, she has this weird kind of. She shrieks and
Not a
glass
good
kind
picture.
of shatters.
You put that
Dude,
herself.
there is no good picture of Jill Stein.
That's better.
Elizabeth Warren. They're all no, dude. This is honestly, she just looks like glass shattering. She looks like the sound glass makes.
I think you're racist against Elizabeth Warren and Jill Stein.
Oh, I am. It's because she's the only Native American I am racist against. Actually, I like most other Native Americans, just not Elizabeth Warren. Oh, how far back would I have to
straight off the res, yo?
Dude, de-res her. I don't know how to find it. Paramount Trump deal. Where is it at? She had this whole post about it. The settlement, $35 million, the Paramount deals, etc. And that she's like, how is it that Paramount shelled out all this money to support Trump? Trump owns some chunk of Paramount, and then Paramount got rid of Stephen Colbert, which upset like all 7 of his fans, I'm sure. But
I think that show. I don't. Sorry, I will bounce this right back to you.
Go ahead.
I think Colbert. I've been a fan of his personally, but I think he has pretty bad and lazy writers as well. So it's like that show might have been doomed to fail. But the thing is,
constantly on the wrong side with the wrong take of everything for the past 10 years. So it's hard. But
yeah, well, he is one of the hosts. He actually had Trump on his show, and like at least he said, like when he was on, like the crowd of course was booing him. He's like, well, just don't boo the guy, you know. And I think little things like that. It's like I do think people overlook a few things, and
yeah, he's not bad. He's just annoying.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
can I also add something, guys? Besides Colbert, I just want to also add that E Weekly, The View, and I think that was it. That also got canceled.
I think a lot of
taking a hiatus.
This is going to be a
USD
springboard
shows.
for a lot of the late night. A lot of the late nights are going to cancel. Like I think someone else is going to follow next. I don't know which one it's going to be, but it's probably going to happen. I would say within a few years. Like one of the other big ones is going to be like, well, we don't. It turns out we don't want to do this either because it's just not. It's not an updated model at all. Like not everything has to be progressive, but it's like it's hard. Everybody wants to compete specifically for advertising, and I don't think
like not for nothing. There's not a bad thing with giving progressives space. Like there's people who have these ideas, they should be allowed to talk about them freely and without being shamed over it. But when people within that group start shaming other people for not being in that group, that makes everybody in that group look bad unless they start calling out their own hypocrites. And nobody else can call the hypocrites in that group out unless they're in that group. So we can't do it for them. They need to do that themselves so that, they can come back to interacting with everyone else on a healthy platform.
I mean, I showed a clip of Stephen.
Every group fighting for control and then holding it for a few years, and then the next one does it again, and then everything is constantly moving and turning around in every other direction. We need to all come together and find a compromise that we can agree on. Otherwise, we're screwed.
I mean, I had a clip I showed of Colbert a few months ago on this show, right? The Claire Danes interview.
Part of my job.
Who sets that?
Oh yeah, I need to change the subject
Do
immediately.
you every season where you go get to spend some time with some actual spies?
We do. It's like the coolest part of my job.
Who sets
When
that
does
up?
the
Who
season
goes
come
to
out?
Vegas? We just like to come in and hang out with you guys.
Yeah, so Henry Bermel, who is one of our founding fathers of Homeland, one of our writers, passed away a number of years ago, but his dad was in the CIA, and his cousin was a mentee of his father's and was also in the CIA, a very accomplished person there. And he recently retired, but in his retirement, he curates this week-long spy camp for us producers and writers. And
really?
Yeah.
Is it like, you know?
So we park ourselves in a club in Georgetown and talk to like real
spoofs.
weeks.
Bitch, you better shut the
And,
fuck
you know,
up right
people in
now.
the intelligence
You better
community
shut your
and
fucking
the State
mouth.
Yeah,
Department and
his,
journalists
his face really says it all.
people who
What
really
do they tell
gets
you that
better.
like what's the most surprising thing that they've told you about their jobs or something you would need to know?
well, every year it's different, right? We've been at
Okay.
it for a while, and
Oh my gosh, he doesn't stop, bro.
the
It's a
climate
go, shut up.
has changed. But this year it was all about, you know, the distrust between the administration and the intelligence world, and the intelligence community was suddenly kind of allying itself with journalists, which
But wait a
usually
second,
they're
how long
not
ago did you
such
start
good
shooting
friends.
this?
He just
Cut her off.
You gotta
Shut
shut
the hell up.
up.
Anyways,
Well,
next
anyway.
question.
Oh my god, bro! Like, yeah, it's crazy. So, like,
That's
I feel
great.
like it was destined to, that show was destined to be taken off.
Wait,
the
I
air.
just saw a super chat about Republicans are bad. Answer one question. Party is trying to legalize something with their mouth. What is that? I
want to see it because
listen,
Riggs. I'm sure
my
it's Riggs.
response
Riggs
to that
is-
there is that if they had evidence that anybody in the current administration had done anything, I feel like during the previous administration they would have acted on it. And if you don't think they would have done that, then you're far more cynical than I am.
Yeah, I mean, I want to believe so bad, but like, basically, you know, there was a time when MAGA seemed kind of hot because it was filled with, you know, there like
no, I'm not
basically.
talking about MAGA or the supporters or anybody. I'm saying that if Joe Biden and his team had evidence that the people in power right now did anything wrong, then he would have acted on it. I really believe he would have acted on it.
Yeah,
I
if he
just
had some power
like,
to like,
doesn't mean
if
I
it
don't
was,
think
if he had something on someone else and it wasn't his son and his own family,
But
he
they
might have.
prosecuted Ghislaine without any other names coming out at all. If they wanted to prosecute just Donald Trump, then he could have if Donald Trump had done something wrong.
Yeah, I feel like anyone who could have made more power for themselves and didn't feel complicit in it they would say anything they needed to get more power. But
I think
MAGA
there are more
was
reasonable reasons that the Epstein file stuff isn't coming out all immediately like everyone would prefer. And I think it's just because of Epstein's Musk's instigation that the Epstein list isn't coming out as quickly as everybody would prefer because he made everyone impatient on it.
but Trump act like there is no list. He's like, there's no list. And like his big upset is that like Epstein like poached some 16-year-old girls working for him at some
So are we
point.
talking about a list that was maintained by Epstein himself or a list that was compiled by investigators based on evidence after the fact?
Either way. I mean, there's probably both. You know,
And again, either way, if you're still doing an investigation or there are immunity deals in the way, then you can't really release it. If there's an immunity deal, you can never release it. If there's an ongoing investigation, you have to wait until that pans out and somebody gets charged. You can't just drop it.
They're talking like they're dropping it. We've been impatient about it for like 5 years, dude. Yeah, agreed.
I'm hoping to yank the immunity away.
The
weird thing is that they said if Epstein goes down, these 5 other randos who weren't even really, not 5 other, they had just like unnamed people getting immunity in this fucking deal. That doesn't fly. So if just because Epstein went down, they get immunity, no, that needs to be fucking revoked ASAP, and those people need to be prosecuted. And when those people get prosecuted, that's the list.
I mean, we had like LGBTQ for MAGA. We had blacks for MAGA. You had like blacks, Jews, Koreans for MAGA. What basically you had was
I'm sorry, I didn't do my MAGA part, by the way. I'm a bad American.
That's because you like Andrew Yang, who wants to take away our AR-15s.
I did like Andrew Yang, but he was just
too, but
funny.
He's a pussy. He's a pussy.
Yeah, he is a pussy.
It just pisses me off, bro. Like, it's so sad. But I mean,
he was like an insect with really high IQ.
Yeah, it's all fake fights to slow drip information we already know. Yeah, exactly. And what was crazy was people were pissed off about that already 20 years ago, and you started seeing it because you had all these people like, you know, back then gays were going for MTV and they were joining the Democrats. Blacks were going for MTV and they were joining the Democrats. Koreans probably, I don't know for sure, but I'm sure there was a bunch of I know a few pseudo leftist Koreans from 2012. I don't know if
art school Koreans, but now
art school Koreans in San Diego totally exist.
We needed Marianne Williams.
A little bit of crack on the end of them.
We needed the orb bitch. We needed that orb lady queen to make.
Dude, the weed smoking Koreans were pretty cool, but like now we've got you know, that chat room was kind of blown up, right? The DNC chat room was blown up. It was a boring chat room, too many mods in it. So all of a sudden you find this dead chat room, which is the Republican chat room, and that MAGA entered the chat. You had gays for MAGA. You had Democrats were leaving the Democratic Party, joining MAGA. You had Green Party, you had Ron Paul, and like there was kind of this hope that there was something else there. How many Bernie bros went MAGA? Like a big chunk were Democrat Bernie Sanders bros went to Trump because they were so pissed about what was going on in the Democratic Party. So MAGA, what was cool about it was this super inclusive, diverse thing. Ironically, that's the way that the MTV used to try to pretend. It is though, because originally the Democrats the Democrats lied and pretended that they were this inclusive, diverse thing, because they're like saying, "Oh, well, George Bush doesn't represent you." And a lot of people agreed. They're like, "Yeah, George Bush doesn't represent me. Maybe I do want to be with the other skull and bones."
They went so extreme like 10 plus years ago that they pushed a lot of people away, and now I feel like the only people left there are the loonies, which is why people like Zoran Mamdani are
Okay, so hear me out, because racism is the new woke, and it's happening again. Only this time to the Republican Party, because the Republicans already did that. They had young Republicans in the 70s. They had all kinds of cool people joining the Republican Party. The Goldwater libertarian conservatives, hell, Hillary Clinton. Not saying she was cool, but was part of the Goldwater libertarian Republicans at that point, right? And the Democrats got bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually they're like, we don't really care whether you support us or not. It's a huge tent. You don't have to be here. We just care about the people that are our Nazi Democrat tankies. As long as you're a tanky, we'll give a damn about you. We'll do whatever we want to do, and you better just suck our dick and support us. That was the Democratic Party in the last 10 years.
That's what it still is.
I just
They're dying. They're dying the way the Republican Party died under McCain. McCain's party friggin' died, right? That was the thing. Romney, McCain, it was completely.
In 2016, Hillary Clinton didn't win the primary. It was Bernie, and then the superdelegates handed it to her because they didn't care what the voters wanted, and that's what they've
always done. That's what DNC's always done, is they've tried to get more people into the party with P. Diddy and MTV.
Yeah, but they can't actually primary anybody, so you can't make any real effective change in that party because you can't. If they
can't make any effective change in any party. The Republican Party ended up trying to say, okay, well, now if you feel so disenfranchised with everything else, come join our dead party, because it was super dead. 2016, there was nothing going on in the Republican Party. I mean, you've got this vampire bat Zodiac killer, Ted Cruz. What are you going to do with Huckabee? Fuckabee, we need we're going to get this is going to work. This is what we're going to get. So at a certain point, you've got a disfranchised Republican Party filled with gays, filled with blacks, filled with Jews, filled with Asians. All kinds of people were coming in and was making the Republican Party diverse as hell and seems super rad, right? They don't care about that but they don't care about that this year. They've already won, and they don't give a damn about you anymore. And so the Republican Party is going back to doing the exact same damn shit that the Democrats were doing 5 years ago, because they're like, look, we don't really care about your values or about what you want. We just want our tankies. We just want the obedient tankies that are going to be willing to go. We tell you one thing this week that's different than we said last week, and you go with it. And next week, we're going to tell you something else, and you're going to forget what we said this week because you're going to go with that. And that's what's killing me about the MAGA movement right now. These are just a bunch of fucking tankies that don't give a damn about their own values anymore. And you're watching them shed and purge anybody that joined for the purpose of being part of some sort of real movement, and all that's left are the freaking tankies, bro.
Andres,
these are just as bad as the Democrats were.
I've been trying to get Section 174 repealed for many years now, and I've been emailing and sending other communications to congressmen for a while about it. We finally got it in the big beautiful bill. How do people not appreciate that?
And can you explain what that is?
Section 174 means if you're a company and you spend money on R&D expenses, you can't just deduct all of your expenses from your income that year. You have to amortize it over 5 years. So if you hire an engineer for $100,000 a year, which is a low salary for an engineer, you can't just deduct $100,000 off of your income as if it was spending that year. You have to amortize it over 5 years. So if you're doing a project that doesn't earn any profit until year 3, that's $60,000 of deductions on your taxes that you would have been able to take, but you can't.
Yeah, so
now
obviously
Section 174 is still technically in effect, but it's suspended until 2029.
Wait. You're saying I thought this didn't work, right? Was the point. and they're going to make it so you can't deduct your investments, essentially.
Section 174 made it so you have to deduct your R&D expenses over the next 5 years instead of on the year that you spend them.
Which is shitty because you want to be able to. Okay,
repealing
so
that allows them to then deduct all of that on the year they spent it.
So you're saying they
back
repealed
to the way
it?
R&D was done in 2015, like back when the economy was good for engineers.
So you're telling me that Trump
He got rid of this bad rule.
Yeah, but this rule came in 2016, right?
Yeah, I guess that came in during that.
So it came in during
Congress,
Trump's
yeah.
administration. Okay,
I would call it a problem.
I'm just saying,
in conclusion, you missed.
Nobody else paid attention until we finally got it in this
In
bill.
conclusion, this naked
You missed the
man
former
that-
glory of MAGA.
Yeah.
Yo, who was the last
My
president? Do you
emails
think?
finally did something. Are you kidding me? I'm actually pretty hyped about that.
I mean, in 2029, you might be if it actually goes through.
I'm sending emails about that now, trying to get it permanently removed.
Yeah, but who knows what will actually. I mean, it seems to me that they say something, it never happens. They increase taxes, it gets worse and worse and worse. Trump's supposed to
They
end
increase
income
taxes
tax.
on individuals, not on businesses. You know, at
I
least
wanna
it'll be easy to get a job. You just won't be able to keep any of the money they give you.
This is exactly. I'd love to see some kind of change, but so far I kind of agree with South Park. Shocker that everything South Park says is right, but so far Trump has just become Saddam Hussein this year, which is kind of a bummer. I'm supposed to be like super stoked on this. Really? Like, thanks. I guess.
Who do you think was the last president to kill somebody? Like really kill someone, not through some fucking drone strike. Like
Hillary
actually
Clinton
look.
wasn't president technically, so.
Wait, what?
Was there a musical number with this episode? Like, I can change.
It's coming. This he's back. This week he's supposed to grope Satan under the table, and Charlie Kirk is going to be our dear friend Charlie.
Cartman plays Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, and Charlie's leaning into the joke because he actually changed his profile
That's
picture.
great.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, what can you got to be super honored to be made fun of by South Park, and that's based, honestly.
I mean, in a way, but in a way, it's just like the world thinks you're a piece of trash, so South Park's just confirming it.
Yeah, I mean, but like, hey, like if you can laugh about it, like that shows your.
Yeah, I mean,
that's-
sometimes it's like they're funny and like the person can probably play along with it, but I mean, obviously with like, I don't think they're gonna. I mean, I can't see them being too hard, soft.
Jared
on
Fogle
Kirk.
probably didn't think his South Park appearance was the worst thing in his life.
Who?
The Subway guy.
His name is Jared. He likes to eat the sandwiches.
Dude, you called that one. Imagine the Epstein files. They drop the Epstein files, and it's just this.
Yeah, like he might not have done anything illegal. It might just be really, really embarrassing.
I'd be scared.
Totally
I'd be like, this is too spooky. I can't look at this list. I'm sorry.
Like
How did we end
maybe
up
that's
back
why
to
like
shame
Bongino and Bondi just couldn't look him in the eye afterwards, and they were all like really disturbed. They seen a video, either him bending somebody over or getting bent over a chair.
Too spooky.
I don't know. It's to me. It seems
Yeah,
kind of
what
like
if The Office.
You think Trump is a top or a bottom?
Dynamics.
we were getting so close to be like you saw those Pokemon,
geez,
those
I don't
fat.
know.
You saw those fat people with the Pokemon moo-moos and their tattoos. No offense, Kurt, but we were just
Trump have
almost to
any
the end
Pokemon
of.
clothing?
Maybe underneath, maybe he's wearing Pokemon briefs, but the point is we didn't have shame culture. Shame culture was almost dead. There was a point where you could like transgender your kids and be proud of it. There was a point when you could, get married to your cat. Basically, there were kids becoming cats in classrooms. They were peeing in litter boxes for public schools with taxpayer money. I mean, all these things were terrible, but at least there was no shame culture. Shame culture was dead. Now we're swinging back. I think that was the point of last week's South Park, is that the political correct wokeness is out of schools and Jesus is back in schools, and we're gonna hit this wall of shame culture. And that's basically what Epstein files we've been kind of insinuated were all about, because
shame on you.
Like, oh hey, you weren't allowed to have sex with a prostitute or a kid, really, which was really, I think. That was what was crazy to me about the Epstein thing. There were people that genuinely, and they're still on X and Blue Sky and things, that have no problem with people having sex with underage people. They don't even believe that there is such a thing. Shame culture was dead. So it's like we're reinstalling shame culture so that we can burn people at the stake again. And it's going to start with like, well, yeah, well, people that did diddling kids is wrong, right? It's like, but then that's going to move into, well, people that don't wear suits. Yeah, well, now you're going to need an ID so they can watch you in England, not just watching porn, but saying something about human trafficking. Or if you say something about illegal immigration in England, right? They want your ID now. Free speech is going to be the next thing after porn.
Oh yeah, that's why I say the United States is the only country with free speech. At least you can't get thrown in jail for expressing distaste with something.
They're going to figure it out. They're going to figure it out for sure. America is going to take away free speech. Barely ever existed in the United States. We always had time, place, and manner. You have the right to say something so long as it's not a hate crime between the hours of 9 to 5 in the safe space, as long as you've got your ID to guarantee that you have this privilege, which is not a right, but something that the United States allows citizens. You know, that's what the ACLU did. They took away the idea of actual inalienability. They alienated inalienability.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think Americans would stand for that.
What, shame culture?
No, like taking away freedom of speech.
Away freedom, yeah.
Oh. I mean, the freedom to say what exactly? Like, I don't know. I mean, do I?
Hey, fuck you, Chris.
It's not even just to say
you can
something.
tell somebody that you got a problem with them. You just can't threaten them. You can't tell them, I'm going to do something to you unless you give me your wallet or something.
I'm sure it's
like
different
that.
for everyone, but I'm trying to think of the last time where I felt my freedom of speech was impeded on. It was probably
It hasn't
recently.
been because you're an American. You don't live in England.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
I
Sorry,
mean, you can't
English
say
folks.
there's definitely things you can't say, right? Like, I don't know, maybe it's changing now, but like racism for a long time. I grew up in California. Hate crimes were totally a thing. If you said things you weren't allowed to say, you'd get suspended from school for sure. You were totally not allowed to say certain things. And that, I think, created racists that didn't exist before. People in California that were so pissed at the liberal woke agenda that now you have super racist. And then even the other way around, you've got these people that are so upset at racists. Like, am I racist against racists? Because they don't know how to not have that energy. They still have that energy. So now you have like, Free Palestine people that are super anti-Jewish. It's crazy. I'm seeing all around us.
After you're like this,
it's amazing. In 2025, therere's straight up Nazis, like the
really
Democrats, that want to destroy
They're
Israel.
not all Nazis, but there are Nazis hiding amongst them. And
I think the Democrats are
more
pretty
obvious
much
than they
Nazis.
need
No, I mean the Democrats are pretty much Nazis. They want to take away your guns. They want to destroy Israel. They want social health care. They want eugenics. They're all about abortion. I mean, vegetarians, some of them. I mean, for the most part, Democrats are all Nazis. I mean, maybe there's a few stragglers there, but like I think the Nazi Party was kind of a bit more nuanced than people realize now.
I mean, yeah, the Democrats are a party where they all think they know better than the people they want to rule over.
It's kind of Nazi.
Just an annoying mindset, regardless of where it's coming from or why they're pretending to be the good guy.
Did you guys see the new Babylon Bee thing where the Democrat goes back in time and try to kill Hitler?
No, that's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah, dude, hold on. I'm gonna show it just because.
Oh, the one he's painting, yeah.
Oh yeah, Hitler was just a pissed off art student, right? That's why art schools don't reject anybody anymore.
Totally.
I'm a time traveler from the year 2025, and I've come here to kill you, Hitler.
Oh, not again.
Not again.
I'm never gonna have enough time to finish these paintings with all of these time travelers trying to kill me.
Well, I'm going to succeed.
Before you pull the trigger, can I just ask why? Why do all of you people want to kill me?
Isn't it obvious?
Planned Parenthood
I'm
shirt.
a progressive, a liberal,
Palestine.
a fighter for social justice. And you are a fascist who implemented a reign of terror. And while the effects of your policies devastated the world for decades, soon we will be able to take back the White House, and we will be able to use the government to force people to follow our great ideas.
You want to use government power to force your ideas on the populace.
Me too.
Me too. That's fantastic.
What? No. Ugh. You and I have nothing in common. What I'm saying is there are people in our time with dangerous ideas, and we need to silence them.
Silencing those who disagree with you. I do that too.
He was literally an emo
Oh,
kid, which is why they should all
wunderbar.
be on a list.
Ah, the Nazi movement will not die with me.
Don't give me that. I'm enlightened, and you're as bad as, well, as Hitler. Listen, what I'm trying to say is
I
we
like
are
that. You're as
very
bad as
close to implement.
Yeah, you're as bad as like, well, what's the worst thing there is? Well, you basically defined, you're the definitive thing. You know, you actually are yourself. You're the most self-realized.
Implementing a utopia. What I'm trying to say is we are very close to implementing a utopia, as long as we can get rid of some certain undesirable people groups.
Yes, like the Jews.
Yes, like the Jews.
Oh, God.
She's like, oh wait, but
So in the future,
Oh.
you also do not like the Jews?
Well, no, but
dude, with her Palestine pin, straight up, she's like, well, I mean, like 4 years ago, I don't even know if this was that clear. Like, I think at least half the Democratic Party would have been.
No, I had a conversation with my woke ex about 4 years ago about this exact thing, and she had literally like no about it.
Oh,
I was
man.
like, this is where it's going to lead, and she's
My
like, no, it's
woke
not.
ex.
I'm like, yes, it is. It's like that white privilege shit is literally Mein Kampf. It's literally like there's some other group of people who's tricking everybody else into fucking being in a bad
White
state.
privilege is white
Like,
responsibility.
it's exactly the fucking same bullshit. And I was like, this is exactly where it's going to fucking lead, and this is exactly where it's led. And now a lot of people are terrified.
Mythical Class laughing so hard right now. Yeah, I've seen this actually like 3 times, and it hasn't.
Yo,
actually stopped being funny to me.
I just want to say, like, I'm counting my blessings because back in like 2014 or whatever,
You can
when
join
woke
whichever
culture-
side wins. Fuck you,
dude. I was like an adult. Like, I wasn't in school. I was like an actual, like, you know,
So was
functioning
I.
member of society. But when you were a kid back then, like when you're a minor, that
No, I
must
was
suck.
I was
Like,
I was an adult in 2007. Are you fucking
great.
kidding me?
that's
Like,
good.
I was not
I'm
a
just saying.
child in college trying to learn about this shit. No, I was like living with a girl trying to have a conversation.
You need to
with her
make
about
you need to make a like a TV soap opera called My Woke Ex. I really feel like that would be a good MTV show.
Oh Christ,
Yeah.
that would be.
But wait, Chris, what were you trying to say?
No, I already said it. I'm just saying I'm counting my blessings that I wasn't a minor through like 2014 to now. Because
Oh,
being
God.
like Gen Z must be a fucking nightmare, right? Being a kid. Because as an adult, I could just shut all this shit out. Like, fuck this. I have to go to work. Like, I have to live my life.
I
Whereas
feel
those
like
kids,
I like the kids these days. If you ever meet these like 12-year-olds, they're turbocharged. You know, they're like they're Generation Zyklon. You know, there's like way more. There's a lot more crazy stuff on the internet than you realize, even at your age. You know, these kids see it all. These kids see it all, and you know what
Yeah,
they have
it's
to
gonna
do?
make it
They have to be like,
impossible to compromise.
They close their phones and laptops when their parents come in the room, not because they're afraid of their parents seeing what they're like that they're watching it, but because they're afraid for their parents. Like they're like, well, they're too old to see this stuff. You know, they're too innocent. Like I don't want to harm their psyche. These kids are just like, you don't know how tough it is being a kid, dodging bullets on my way to like gym class and dealing with my woke ideology. You know, I mean, really, mom and dad, you better just like stay in your lane where it's safe. These kids they've seen some stuff. You know what I mean? They're,
So do you think?
Go ahead. Sorry,
you think-
we'll back into it in a minute. Go ahead. What you
yeah, I
saying?
want to see. All right.
Do you
We'll
think
just ask a question first.
the fact that the Jewish vote and the Democrats are not really too friendly with each other anymore is why Mamdani won in New York City?
Yeah, I think that. I mean, obviously, most of the Chabad that
Being Jewish
you've ever
myself.
interacted with, yeah, most of the Jews
Like
I know
my Jewish
are
family is very nervous about that guy.
Most of the Jews I know have turned way more conservative and more Zionist conservative, like and Trump has done a really good job of bringing over the Jews to the Republican side, but there already were the real Jews were Republicans. It was usually like the liberal Jew was, you know, something that was a less religious Jew, and someone who's less interested in Israel. And so this is why you've got the anti-Israeli Jews that are
My
pro-Palestine.
family has literally no connection to Israel at all. Like we come from Eastern Europe. We're not.
No, I don't
that
think
close.
any. I mean, but
But,
still,
Like,
do you
it's
support the
anti-Semitism
idea?
that is what's making us nervous?
Yeah, and it's becoming really blatant at this point, and especially by moving in Arabs. Because the same thing happened in Germany. Germany's super like worried about being called a Nazi. They love to protect the Jews, and then they brought in all these Turks and all of these Muslims.
The first company I ever worked for was owned jointly by a group of Jewish and Muslim people from two different families. It's like they
They
were
used
not
to
in
get along.
conflict at
No, I
all.
mean it's ironic because you go to Spain and like the Jews, like
Because the ones who come to the
Maimonides
United
ran
States
the
have
Muslim
sense.
quarter of
They
the
don't want to
caliphate.
fight each other.
Yeah, they're usually over it by that point. But a
Yeah, they
couple
want to come here
generations
and like
in,
earn a living and like have a good family, a good life for their family and all that. They
Lots
don't
of
wanna, like,
babies.
throw rocks
a
at each
little
other.
bit of propaganda and things
Little
start to change.
bubblers.
Yeah, but there was a time I think when the Vatican was the most pro-Zionist, and so the Democrats were associated with the Catholic Church, and this pushed for Israel, and so there was an alliance that was going on. But at that point, the Bush family were super strongly allied for oil with the Middle East, and they were courting Saudi Arabia and Iran, even right. Iraq was kind of controlled and built because of Saddam Hussein, which was installed by the Bush family. So the Republicans had an alliance with the Arabs, and the Democrats had an alliance with the Zionists. But everything is switching now, and realistically, I don't think that like Obama did have ISIS and ISIL and the alliance with the Arab states.
That
So
was
things
crazy
switched.
shit.
Things switched entirely in 2008, and it was a gradual progression, but it was pretty obvious that things had moved around. But okay, let's there's a couple more minutes of this.
We don't believe in segregating all the races like you do. I mean, except for like graduation ceremonies and dorms and hiring practices. Oh, and admissions policies, that sort of thing.
I too am a fan of the segregation. I'm sorry, I have to ask: is this
I
a
really
real
wish. Hold on, pause
firearm,
this
or is
really
this some
quick. Pause
kind
this really quick.
Yeah.
Like I tried to get it because the girl really believed this shit that I did. Like we lived together for like almost 3 years, maybe slightly longer than that. I tried to get like what the fuck was the base motivation of all the ideology? Like what is it all going towards? Because if you're saying the one thing and doing the other, and it's obviously in conflict, like where does the consonance come from? Like what is the goal? Is it really just social cohesion with your friends, or is there an actual intellectual basis?
I think
here?
it's just myopic. It's emotional. It's myopic. Really quickly, owning the Wib says Obama
I
was
don't want to
anti-Israel.
discount it that quickly. I really would love
No,
to say it and just move on and stop thinking about it. But there's
pop
got to
back
be
to
something
it.
more than that.
I'll answer right now. I just want to say Obama wasn't anti-Israel. He was pro-Arab, and being pro-Arab it provoked a stronger Israel.
Like, yeah, the Arabs are not just anti-Israel by default. By the way, there are plenty of
I mean,
Arab
especially
countries that are perfectly
today,
willing
like
to ally themselves.
especially today, it's becoming more and more that way. But I think with the liberals, you had a lot of kids, and the way it works is you're young, you're emotional, you're myopic, you don't know what the past is like. You think that what's happening right now is the only thing that's ever happened, or it's the first time it's ever happened. And usually by the time you're in your 30s, you've seen a couple political election manipulations happen. And so you're no longer the way you were when you were 18. You're like, this is it. We're really going to make that change. And that we're going to make that change thing is media propaganda, which is every generation filled every 4 years, every 8 years, particularly there's a media manipulation that says rock the vote. I remember that was the big one when we were kids was MTV's Vote or Die, rock the vote, all this stuff.
And it was people are so easily swayed.
And it's like because you love this band. Well, you love Guns N' Roses, you love Michael Jackson or whatever the hell. Like in the 60s, they did the same thing. They were able to convince people in the 50s to vote based on if you don't vote, then someone else is going to, the communists are going to win. If you don't vote now, then the Russians are going to win. Hey, if you don't vote right now, then Nixon, this dark villain, is going to win. So you have to have JFK. I mean, it's always, we in the JFK kids in the 60s, they're the ones right now who are in their boomer phase. So they're the ones who don't have jobs anymore. So they're watching the media and media manipulation. This is the thing. This is why I try not to focus too much on contemporary events, because it makes me feel like a newsie. I don't like being a newsie.
I never heard that before. I'm gonna use that. Newsy. Could be a fucking newsy.
Do you know what newsies were? Like the boys with the newspapers. They were like, extra, read all about it. They used to have like 30, 40 kids on the street selling newspapers. And you'd yell like, Tom Tuttle tickles Terry Talvin. And, like Tacoma is being taken by Terry's and whatever the hell. You have to like make some weird alliteration or like, Republicans are rioting in Russia with the, read all about it. And basically what you were doing was you were taking the same newspaper that the kid next to you was taking, usually because you're a Jewish kid or an Arab kid or Korean kid, whatever, you're a first generation
just showed
kid.
up to the United
You're a
States in the
first
1800s.
generation kid, and your dad can't speak the language, and your mom can't speak the language, and they're being slaved for pennies to do, like, they're going blind working somewhere, or your dad's at home drinking because you got nothing else, and they send you out on the street, and you're making all the money for your 17 family members that live in a big pile in some horrible project.
Maybe one day you'll become a cab driver, you know, if you're lucky.
I mean, this is straight up. Yeah, this is straight up, like, this is how bad this was. Like, you had no prospects whatsoever, but to hope to learn how to speak English well enough that you could assimilate your generation and that your family, your parents' generation, lost, just completely lost. And that was the whole point, was you were selling newspapers and you were competing with each other to sell newspapers, just like YouTubers are today. Because what does a YouTuber do? A YouTuber looks at a trend. Okay.
Right back, eat a cup of coffee.
You grab this trend and you look at this trend and you say to yourself, okay, the top stories on YouTube or on Twitter right now are Tsunami or Hillary Clinton or South Park or whatever. And basically your hope is that you can get people to buy the newspaper, the Twitter article, the YouTube video from you, because you're the go in between. You're the foot soldier selling that drug
of information.
You're the foot soldier selling the drug, which is information, and everyone's selling the same damn thing, because you're all just leading people to the same newspaper, the Associated Press, to X, to Twitter, to YouTube, to Facebook, to whatever it is. It's just newsies, and it sucks, you know, because why would you want to be just somebody who's selling their newspaper?
You got to make news, not sell news.
Oh. All right. I'm looking at Kurt right here. He's like talking to a girl. No, wait.
Who are you talking to, Kurt?
Like in the classroom. We're like, share your notes with the rest of the class. No.
Yeah. Did you bring enough for everyone, Kurt?
SPY is up 0.3% today. Good job.
Shit.
Good job, market.
The bell closed, so it's already been closing bell at 4 p.m. our time. So that means all your options are fucking cooked. Sorry, bears.
While Sean's getting his drink, we'll probably be able to finish this video.
And admissions policies, that sort of thing.
I too am a fan of the segregation. I'm sorry, I have to ask: is this a real firearm, or is this some kind of toy for kids?
It's a flare gun. I'm trying not to support America's toxic gun culture. I'm a firm believer in gun control.
Gun control! This was one of my ideas too. Ban them from the undesirables. Yes, look here. Oh, and your shirt. This is an organization founded by Margaret Sanger. Yes?
Wait, you know about Margaret Sanger?
Jawohl, of course. Oh, she's such a lovely person.
No. She's a fighter for reproductive rights, for women's empowerment,
and the eradication of undesirable populations by means of eugenics. Brilliant lady, very inspiring. I must use some of her ideas in our socialized healthcare system.
Socialized healthcare? That's not your thing. That's our thing.
Oh no, it's very much my thing. Did you know that Nazi means National Socialist German Workers' Party? Nazi is just more catchy. Nazi.
Could be a cereal.
Rolls off the tongue.
No.
Yeah, it could be.
This can't be true. This has to be some sort of mistake. We are nothing alike. You're Adolf Hitler, evil right-wing fascist dictator, and I'm a feminist restorative justice advocate. And a vegetarian.
You're a vegetarian? Me too!
Okay, I am so confused right now. I came here with a clear goal in mind to kill the most evil man to have ever lived. Besides Ronald Reagan. But now that I'm meeting you in person, you're not at all what I thought you were. And your painting is actually really good. What do you call it?
I call it
awful.
Ein Reich ohne Juden.
An empire without Jews.
Wow.
You couldn't paint
I don't
people
know
at
what that
all.
means, but it sounds beautiful.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds beautiful.
It does. Doesn't it?
Dude, Babylon Bee's making some hard-hitting sketches these days. I like that one. That one's pretty solid.
That one felt a little PragerU, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, it was
not invalidating.
It's not that funny.
It's just like a little bit too like institutionally pushed. You know what I mean?
Is that not how you feel? Yeah, go ahead.
It's well, all you do if you want to have political weight, you just caricaturize the enemy, and that's just the formula. Just caricaturize things. Get to your advertisers, make them happy. It's a
Yeah, but what part of that do you disagree with? Like, is that not every woke X you've ever had?
That's
like,
actually my problem with the woke people is that they're way too similar to Hitler, and I noticed this in the middle part of the last decade, and none of them acknowledged it when I brought it up. They all just shouted me down, and here we are.
I'm not saying that like because like I wish Andrew Vega was here to fight for the extreme leftist causes, but he has the same criticisms of the Democrats that I do. I think that that it sounds like that video even would say that they've become white privilege
Nazis,
neo-Nazis essentially, and they're pushing for all of the same things that we were warned to be careful about from the Third Reich.
I actually haven't heard about white privilege since the whole anti-Jew thing started up. Actually, does anybody notice that they just shifted gears, like right over, like as if it wasn't even a thought to them?
But white privilege is the thing that makes them responsible for fighting for everything, right? They're like, well, I understand I have white privilege, so therefore I have to work to protect Palestine, because that's the only. Why else would you talk about anti-Semitism? Why would you try to destroy Israel? Well, because I have the responsibility to, as a white privileged Palestinian supporter. I'm only advocating for the lesser.
I was talking about the white privilege aspect, where it's like there was a bunch of other people tricking us into having less or something like that, which is the exact same thing the Nazis had in Germany. They were saying, oh, there's this other group of people who tricked us all, and that's why we have less. It's the exact same thing the white privilege thing started up in the, like, if there's some sort of shared responsibility, guess what? That's everybody's got civic responsibility. It's everybody's job to make the people around their lives easier.
Collective guilt.
Beings. Not collective guilt, collective responsibility. If you see a piece of trash sitting in front of your neighbor's house, it's good to pick it up.
Very New York.
Because it's your neighbor, and even if you don't know his name, you should learn his name.
All right. I don't disagree. I think picking up trash is good. We should have more trash cans, more public trash cans.
I know my neighbors. I know almost everybody on my block at this point. It's very important that you do too, especially if something bad happens. You can call them.
Yeah, to work together. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I say something bad, I don't mean something being inflicted. Like, God forbid there's a flood.
But wait,
you know what
Kurt,
I mean? Hey, man, can you see if my place is all right? I'm not able to get there right now. You got to be able to call your neighbors.
People need to be working together. I agree.
It's like, Kurt, a family.
Kurt was saying something about the propaganda being basically a spin, or do you think how was that painting a picture that was too cartoonish? Like, you really don't think that that's an accurate cartoon?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be satire, but the idea of satire is to make something, a little bit egregious or maybe beyond belief in order to prove a point. And really, it was just like it didn't feel like that. It felt like, let's just make someone that's really, really stupid. You know what I mean? So I think it didn't.
She's maybe not stupid. Like, those are just, she's myopic because she doesn't understand history. She's maybe ignorant about what the Third Reich was about. But who's studying Nazi Germany? I mean,
that's why I don't like to cast people who disagree with me as stupid. Like, they might have a good reason to disagree with me. I might need. She might be
short-sighted, but I think she genuinely felt. I mean, there are a lot of people that genuinely feel the things that she said, that gun control is good, that only certain people should have guns, particularly the police that they're afraid of and that they're fighting against right now. I mean,
yeah, but the character they had was a young woman. Like, we're supposed to think that young women are intelligent for some reason, but they're not. I'm fucking with y'all.
No, I was listening to that, Kurt. You had me on the edge.
Yes, you continue, Kurt. Please continue that train of thinking. Yeah.
But what I'm saying, what I'm actually saying is that you can't. It's hard to summarize everything that was going on historically, like within just a few minutes, and make a few quips.
No, there's an earnest parallel to be made between those two factions, though. There really, really is. And having been in their company for a long time, I can tell you that.
Like, I'm saying, it can feel like a gotcha moment to say, the Nazis were National Socialists. Like, yes, that's what they call themselves. But to me, the takeaway from the Nazi Party calling themselves National Socialists was that you can call yourselves anything and to try to get political weight and then just do whatever you want under that guise. And that's
You're basically
what
saying they're
happens
fake
all that
Nazis.
time.
In what
Like,
way were they not socialist? In what
They-
way were the National Socialists not socialist?
because they were super capitalist. They didn't want the corporations. Some of the corporations did come under
How
state
can you
control,
be?
but
How
really,
can you be? How
The way
can you,
I understood the conflict-
socialism is a form of managerial theory, right? I'm not just talking from Trotsky, even
So-
from Leninism, even from Marx. You have to have capitalism in order to sustain the businesses and have an investment of the community. If you look at the Volkswagen, if you look at the project for the 5-year plan,
I think a
look at the
lot of
investment
these
in infrastructure.
things are
How could
assumptions
you?
and haven't been fully dissected.
Which part?
and
What part? What part of the Nazi plan wasn't socialist? What part of the 5-year plan, the investment,
part of
in
it
the
wasn't
infrastructure?
capitalist?
Why are you acting like these are different things? Socialism is managerial
Nazi-
capitalist theory.
was much more similar to fascism.
Marx was
capitalism,
talking about
economically speaking.
Marx was
and-
talking about capitalism. He was talking about sustaining capitalism rather than having unsustainable growth.
Okay,
right?
this isn't whataboutism, I promise. But like a few years ago, Trump said the United States will never be a socialist country, which is crap. We're already socialist,
We're
and so it's
extremely
like,
socialist. Yeah, I agree.
yeah, we are an extremely socialist country. So it's like we've demonized the word. Like we like to pretend like, oh, we're not socialist.
Socialism
because,
is
we don't
good
get
for
people
things
out
like the fire department. It's not good for things like deciding what things are good and bad art.
So you're saying it's based
Socialism
on
is
time-
great for the military.
It's
It's
time preference.
Yes.
It's the leftists. The leftists need shit to change right now, whereas the conservatives, the capitalists, they need stability to
Well,
like,
then there's
remain.
also the thing where if the leftists, if the progressives, anybody who wants to change things gets what they want and they have what they want, then they become by definition conservatives because they want to keep things that way. As soon as you say this is nice, can we stop here? You by definition become a conservative.
It oscillates between back and forth, and it's like
Right.
it happens individually and collectively. You know,
Marx was using socialism as a tool to
Marxism isn't the only
sustain-
form of socialism.
Right, but I'm just saying to sustain the idea. I mean, if we're talking about Marxism, which I think is a related
But
point.
but
even
having
though,
a fire department isn't Marxism; it's socialism. It's a socialized
okay.
service to make sure your
So
house
George
doesn't burn
Bernard
down.
Shaw, yeah, I agree. But social services that exist mainly because, I mean, I'm going to bring up Marx again, and I'm going to finish my
The
point.
thing about
Marx was
socialism
trying-
is it's
what
good.
Marx
It's
was
good
trying
when
to
there's
do-
nobody.
Let me finish what I'm trying to say, though. Marx was trying to sustain in enterprises that capitalism produced. Capitalism will produce an enterprise, make a bunch of money off the thing, collapse, and eventually that service will stop existing. So how do we make sure that we don't lose infrastructure? So we have
That's
to
the
figure
thing.
out ways of investing in those infrastructural tools. Socially, we can continue to have, maybe someone makes a bunch of money off inventing trains, and maybe Stanford and Carnegie make a bunch of money having trains, but we need trains. We can't just stop having trains once they make all their money. So the state has to take over those things. And what's the state? The state is the community or the social or the society.
It's the thing is there has to be some sort of disincentivization to overload the system. Like if you have a fire department, your house is going to be prevented from burning down to the best of their ability, but nobody is going to go and set their own house on fire just to use those services. You know what I
Some
mean?
people do, actually. It's called Jewish lightning.
I haven't heard of it, but
Oh, come on. It's in the Untouchables or the Goodfellas, you know?
Is it?
Yeah.
Either way, usually people aren't going to be setting their own houses on fire just because so the fire department can show up. So the fire
Well, the
department is not
insurance
going to be
companies then,
overly
right?
utilized, even though it's a freely available service. If your house is on fire, they're going to come spray it with water, no charge.
Jewish
You know what I
lightning
mean?
is a
But if there's all of a
derogatory
sudden a
term used to
service-
describe arson committed to collect insurance money rooted in harmful
Oh,
stereotypes
it's
of
an
Jewish people.
insurance fraud joke. I get it now.
Yeah.
Ha
Oh,
ha
okay.
ha 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 ha. Okay.
But it does exist.
Anyway,
You get
what I'm
it
saying
now?
is
Yeah,
if
but
you
it's a
have a
derogatory
system
term.
where the socialized service is not disincentivized to be overutilized, where it's not the fire department, it's like free ice cream or something, and somebody's going to show up with a fucking fake mustache and get a fucking second cone, and all of a sudden there's going to be no ice cream for some other guy because he was too slow. Maybe he had a cane, which is worse.
George Bernard Shaw's example is the lighthouse. He says in An Intelligent Woman's Guide to Capitalism and Socialism that all boats will need a lighthouse or they'll crash
Hold on.
into the
Owen
coast.
DeWitt said something that concerns me. He said we're all in constant civil war. No, we're all in constant civil compromise. If we can actually effectively compromise, we can make an agreement that we're all at least okay with. We might not be perfectly happy all with it, but we can be okay with it, and we can move forward together collectively and not be at each other's throats, because that's not going to get us anywhere.
I like what Base Kothar said earlier. It's all fake fights to slow drip information we already know. That can apply to basically anything that
I have
we've
a
talked
feeling
about
Trump
so
is
far.
a master of KFAB, having spent a lot of time with WWF people. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole this is
KFAB,
the
KAYFABE.
all
It's
fake
like the fake
theatrics.
shit that the wrestlers do as the act. It's not really scripted, but it's planned.
Right. Yeah. Taxation is theft. Government is slavery. Pretty much. Okay, we're at the end. Let's do like a closing thing. How about anything that you wanted to say, Jordan?
No, man, this has been a good talk. It was nice meeting Sean, and
You too.
it was good to see you guys. I hope we get together again soon. Obviously, we'll be talking next week, but yeah, I mean, lots of wild stuff going on right now. For some of it, we gotta wait. Time will tell with the Epstein stuff, and is Obama going to jail, and all the.
I wanted to address that one really quickly because
Okay, so
that
it's
one-
not over yet. We got a new segment going.
No,
Here
just
we
2
go.
seconds. Just 2 seconds.
This is the bonus track.
Bonus track. Unitary executive theory is a theory according to the President of the United States has sole authority over the executive branch. The theory often comes up in jurisprudential disagreements with the President's ability to remove employees within the executive branch. What really the unitary executive theory is, if you've ever looked into executive power, it's that the president can do anything he wants and it's never illegal. So the president, for instance, can't steal because it wouldn't be stealing if the president did it.
Can the president do a backflip?
The president, anything that would be illegal, like murdering someone, isn't murder if the president does it. It's execution. Anything that you like, if any crime whatsoever,
Not according to state law, only federal law. He can still be prosecuted by the state if he kills somebody.
except the state is subject to federal jurisdiction. So the state has no power over the commander in chief. So if you try to arrest Obama, it would have to be for something he did before or after being president, and the president could have pardoned himself, and it could have been pardoned anonymously. There could be a record of it that no one else knows about.
Ooh.
So it's pretty much impossible to arrest a sitting or standing or former
You can't even
president.
indict a sitting president. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Doesn't
no
make
way.
sense. You can't-
There's no way to arrest the president.
security.
I mean, the joke that they could have arrested Trump was just, to me, you knew you couldn't really get away with that. I mean, the government can't actually functionally arrest the president. It's just not possible. Sorry.
You have to wait until the term's over. Yeah.
Why is
But
he?
yeah.
Why is he pushing this notion that Obama's going to get? Like, did you see the picture that he?
Yeah, I don't know
posted?
I don't know the angle. If it's maybe just to dramatize the situation because people are so stupid they don't know that you can't really do that, or maybe it's because eventually people will figure out why they can't do that, and then that will be obviously why he can't be arrested for anything he's doing. Trump has unitary executive power right now, so he's trying to say he can't be arrested. All right, what about
Remember
you?
how Obama said he could run the country with an earpiece from his bedroom?
Yeah, but that's probably because Trump
What if
was
Trump
running.
is the one with on the other end of that earpiece and
What
Obama's
if-
just fucking with him?
I think Trump was running Biden's election, not Obama. I think Trump probably ran Biden's presidency. Okay, dinner time. Yeah, what's your closing thought?
Is that if you have a neighbor that lives directly next to you or close to you on your block, you don't know his name, you should learn it. Go out, shake his hand, say hello, especially nowadays, it's summertime. Go to the store, get yourself a little barbecue and invite your neighbors over. So you're the guy who does that, and everybody on your block will love you for it, I promise.
Dude, interact with one stranger a day, make them all your neighbors, make them your friends. Okay, your
local community.
You beautiful, nearly naked
Shirtless
American time
John
machine.
over here.
Tell us what you got.
Be hot in that room.
It looks hot in there.
Kurt.
Hey,
closing
DM, you're
thoughts.
Oh, hello. It's great. I probably look very unappealing from this
Like a
camera
golden
angle.
god.
Yeah. If I stand up, if I wanted to look sexy, maybe I could, but I don't know. I got a little tone here. It's not that bad, but maybe just a few more pounds. I'll be ripped. I'll be long in the halls of Atlas. Hope you're all doing well. Still working on music. I'm at the pace of the one song every 2 months. It's going. There's I like Paul Stamets. He's a good guy.
Me too.
Yeah, he's cool.
Who?
Paul
Paul
Stamets.
Yeah. He's
He does mushrooms, man.
he's pretty much universally famous for doing lots and lots of mushrooms.
He's worked for the government for years, the Defense Department, growing mushrooms and foraging for mushrooms that cure anthrax, and he's a genius.
Oh, he's
very
got
useful.
a turtle. He's got a turtle necklace. Right on. I love the guy. Good shit.
Yeah, he's amazing. You should watch his TED Talk, 6 Ways That Mushrooms Will Save the World, for sure.
Oh, he's very influential. He's kind of like Terrence McKenna without getting like overly philosophical, I guess. That's a decent way to describe him. So I don't know.
Is he the guy that was on Joe Rogan talking about explosive portobellos?
He's been on Rogan at least twice. I mean, he might have been on Rogan more than twice.
Yeah.
So
Wait, like actually explosive or the puffballs that pop?
No, that portobellos can actually be used as explosives.
God damn, I did not know they were that calorie dense. Maybe I should be careful with them.
Is that pretty much it? Do you want to say anything about socialism or about like how to make the world a better place?
That's just stupid. You don't focus. You don't focus on making. I mean, yeah, you do focus on making the world a better place, but politics is the medium of exchange where you're trying to just control everything. Give everybody like basically their own playpen that you assume they'll be happy in. That's the game of politics. So
that's why I say
think
start with your own block.
Exactly. It's going down that, bouncing off of that theory. Just like the real path to anarchy is just like getting to know your neighbors. It's like just make your own life in front of you and the people around you better, because that is where your sphere of influence is, and it's it doesn't need to be much beyond that. Just have a good life. Have a good life, everybody. Beautiful. Why does it sound rude? Have a good life. That's the nicest thing I can say to you. Have a good life.
Get a life and make it good. How dare you? What about you, Chris?
I only have one thing to say to everyone on the panel and in the chat. Thank you for your time, your energy, and your attention. And I hope you have a great rest of day. And if God willing, see you next week. And that's it. Love you all.
Right on.
Based. All right. Well, see you guys next time. Thanks for arguing.
Love you guys.
There's philosophy in me.